Hey everyone, how's it going tonight? My name's Spencer, and welcome to Best Ball Draft Addicts. Tonight, I am going to be doing my 93rd draft and my quest to max this thing out. So we've got 30 days left until the season, officially 30 days till the season starts today. And I am super excited, so excited. But I can do two a day. Two a day is what I'm looking at. Let me go ahead and throw the comments up here. All right. So tonight, I'm very happy to be joined again by my good friend Cory Lee, who's been on here with us a few times. Before I bring Cory in and we get joined into a dinger tonight, I want to talk a little bit about the schedule and what we've got coming up here. So this week on Thursday night, so 2 nights from now, I'm going to be streaming the Bubba and the Bloom auction draft for my league. I was just talking with Matthew over on Stacking Dingers, who's streaming his right now as we speak. And, oh, buddy, that's going to be one heck of a chore, but I am looking forward to it. I'm super pumped, but that's going to be something else. That's going to be a whole beast of its own. And then this weekend, we'll be back together doing another dinger. I believe Friday night is whenever we're going to draft, but I'll let you guys know because my guest is kind of still up in the air for Friday or Saturday. So I'll let you know. If you follow me on Twitter, it's at TheRealDeal136. I'll be posting in the morning of. I also usually try to throw on YouTube the streams up so people can see when we're scheduled for that night. But yeah, so without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Cory Lee. What's up, buddy? How are you doing tonight?
Hey. Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. So, Cor, 30 days till baseball season starts. Are you in baseball mode yet?
I'm getting there. The other day on my phone, like I think it was it was the Cardinals, notifications were still set, and the scoring, like I got a scoring update and it was like there's baseball right now. Just totally took me by surprise.
And I know how much your brain is constantly in on football. So
yeah. I'm starting to make that transition, but I'm a NFL draft nerd, so like I keep getting sucked in by meaningless mock drafts and stuff like that. I was telling Spencer before this, I should have been researching baseball for a baseball podcast, but yet I was just watching Mel Kiper's mock draft 2.0. Can't miss that.
Yep, I know you are a football degenerate, and I was saying, hey, you know what? Here coming up in another month after these next 30 days, we'll have plenty of football talks in our future. And Brad says, is hashtag Catgate 2 coming tonight?
No, I made sure, and I gave her, I fed her too much, but like I don't know, I'm keeping my eyes open for cats and dogs for that matter. We have both. So
Dave's wondering, is that a Jordan Walker shirt you've got there? Because he says Walker's number 1.
Yeah, no, it's just a regular old Cardinals shirt that I've got. So it mentioned on the last stream that I worked there for a while, and at one point half my wardrobe was just nothing but Cardinals polos and shirts and stuff. Like that's where they lack in pay, they make up for in swag. So I'll give them that.
And goodies and giveaways. Yeah, I miss that. I miss getting all of the Cory extra goodie Cardinals stuff that you would give us back in the day.
I got a
that
whole
was
basement.
Awesome.
I got a whole basement full.
Saints that says spring training DFS is where the action is at. Oh, buddy, I can only imagine. And spring training DFS has to be a whole monster. And then Brad says, "Oh, Walker's bad now. He's over him." Dave's going to be at opening day.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you've been to opening day a time or two in your
a few. Did I go last? Was that last year or 2 years ago? I don't even remember. I think it was 2 years ago was the last one I went to. I don't think I went.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? We're not going to wait too long, and we're going to jump in this draft. I'm wondering, do you have it pulled up and ready?
Oh. I do. The danger.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure it's not just at one person and about to fill, I'm going to join. I'll see what it's at. And assuming that there's a few spots, there's 4 more. All right, guys, 4 more.
So jump in.
Jump in. 3 more.
Amen. I really hope
Dave,
I get
Brad,
picked
Saints to
because
death.
it's 11 and 12.
There we go. Okay, here we are. Okay, so we are going to get this rolling here. I am planning on doing 2 drafts tonight for everyone. So if you're on here and you didn't get in this draft, if you want, we're going to do another one after. I think Cory might jump off for that one, but we'll run it back for 2 drafts tonight. All right, let me get the draft board pulled up here.
Hey,
Look at you, number 3.
I know.
You're at the front instead of the back. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm going to panic. Jordan Walker.
There it is.
There it is. I panicked. I don't know. I just don't want to miss out on the breakout. You know, balls.
And you had to get that pick 3. I know.
That's what I had to get. So,
all right, I'm waiting for my desktop
up here yet. Like, is it usually like chalk, Ohtani, Judge, Soto? If you had pick, or when you get pick 3, are you typically taking Soto there, or are you mixing it up, or is it what? It's kind of like on the football side of it. I felt like it got to the point where it was Chase Bijan in that order every time, and then that's when the draft started. So, like, what about your thoughts on 3?
It's Soto every time. Time for me, because Soto is just so incredibly good and reliable. And yeah, in football, like last year, my gosh, we would mix up. I literally was like, you could take any of the top 7 people in football last year, and I'm like, I could have interchanged any of them to number 1. Whereas, in this, I'm sticking chalk 1, 2, and 3, 4s, where, in my opinion, you can start looking different. Now, some people, I've seen some people mix up. So it's not every draft, but most every draft, it's 1, 2, and 3, Soto or Ohtani, Judge, and Soto. Tonight, you see Schwarber and Bobby Witt at 4, 5, and then Acuna there at 6. So that's a mix up from what's normal.
As a longtime player, but I mean, I obviously, know why it justifies the pick, but still seeing Kyle Schwarber go mid first round is wild to me. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's justified. He's a beast, but just all the years of he went around the same area every year. And then, yeah, it's just crazy.
I know. Well, in Underdog last year, if I remember right, he was still going in round 2, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just lock up J-Rod instead of Corbin Carroll. I mean, I'm at the point now where with Corbin Carroll, where I'm like, probably should take this little bit of a dip here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to stick with Julio, and I just love him and I trust him. Brad got picked 12 again. He's going to file a civil lawsuit. And then Dave says last year and Mo and DeWitt getting booed out of Missouri is the best opening day memory I've had. I've been to 3 live. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, Dave. And then Saints to Death. Saints to Death is in this, and he got pick number 9 right after me. So Saints to Death and me are picking right next to each other. Dave grabbed him, Bobby Witt. And then Saints to Death got, who did you get? Who did he get? Tatis?
Yeah. Tatis.
All right. And let's see. What did Brad do? Brad went with Devers and Rooker. So Brad's starting double strung outfield here, which, of course, you can never go wrong with.
Sure.
But yeah, back to what you're saying with Schwarber. Whenever we've played in all of these leagues for all these years, to see him go, in the top 5 in Underdog, it is a crazy shock, because it's not a shock to see these other names because they're going in that level at the other styles of drafts. But Schwarber is so much later.
Yeah.
And
how old is Schwarber nowadays? Is he 30s or?
Yeah, I want to say he's 33, going to be 34. That's are you looking at
32, or he just turned or he's about to turn 33?
Okay,
March 5th.
All right, so This is an opportunity where if I wanted to take Jordan and mix up my shares, I was telling Duggar that maybe we need to start drafting some Jordan, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to just stick with Scooble, and he's my lowest of the main three pitchers. I think I was at 12%. Let me pull up my exposures real quick. I've got my tool updated through my 92 completed drafts, and yeah, so I was at 14 Scooble. I'm at 15.4% Skeens and 19% Crochet. And I want to have teams with one of those three on all of them.
Right.
All right. So what did you go with? Oh, no, it's coming back to you.
I'm up next. So there's James Wood, Gunner, Roman Anthony on the. So I think Skeens just went. Yeah. Or I could take Crochet if I wanted to get one of them their ace pitchers.
Or Big Meat
James
Pete.
Wood is staring me in the face right now, though.
It's a good fall, right? You have 80. This is a ADP of 18, and this is pick 22. So
I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. Pair him with Soto. I like that double outfield start.
Brad says you don't draft Jordan. Do you hate money? I do.
He always has hated money. He's like, I don't like. He wins, but doesn't accept the money. It's crazy.
It's true.
Wyatt Langford. Who?
All right, let me get this board moving along here. So Langford and Crochet to the guy at the turn.
You know, I might go crazy and go triple outfield here. Is that insane?
No, not at all. Not at all. You thinking about Roman?
I'm thinking about Roman.
Do it.
I did it.
So there's been a lot of stuff that I know that you probably has been going on that you've not seen. But Roman, he is now going to be hitting leadoff. So that's something that will definitely help his value for sure. More at bats, leadoff equals more at bats. It's kind of that simple.
Yeah, I mean, again, without just looking, like I felt like he was in his time up, he was kind of like a doubles machine.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have that much time. He didn't play that much last year. But he was still productive, and then he got hurt again at the very end of the year. So let's see here.
I mean, yeah, I just in 200, 303 PAs, 257 at bats, but he had 18 doubles. I mean,
so that's a good amount. So
it's a good amount. I mean, and the hope is that it translates into home run power, eventually.
I went with Junior Caminero. I was really torn there.
That was actually the other name I was looking at. If I wasn't going to go Roman, it was going to be Junior Caminero.
Yeah. So what do you think last year Tampa Bay played in the Steinbrenner, like the minor league stadium. That was the size, of Yankee Stadium. And then this year they're going back to the Trop. Do you think that that's going to hurt Junior, or are you like, you know what? He's just so good. He's so young and so good. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, don't overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of going back, I was going to make the point earlier about Jordan of, it seems it may, and I might be wrong in this assessment for you, but for me, again, kind of translation to football, but there's always just a small handful of guys that I'm okay being wrong on. And it almost seems like he's falling into that bucket for you. It's not talent, it's just health. But it's like one of those, like, he could be great and it could be a good, good value where he's going, everything. You can't draft everybody. So it's one of those, like, I'm okay being wrong on that guy. And, I always have a few of those every year. In football tends to be Jonathan Taylor a lot. I'm just not a Jonathan Taylor guy. And it usually has worked out fairly well. Last year, the first half
it didn't.
Last year, the first half, but the second half, once Daniel Jones went down, he was hot garbage. The whole offense was.
That's something that whenever we
hit 2 bombs, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Brad got to it before me.
Top of the old queue.
So we've talked about this, and I've been talking about it on the streams, but like getting Connor Griffin before spring training, and here we go today. Here it is. He hit 2 bombs. Everything I've been seeing on Twitter is him skyrocketing. I saw someone say that his ADP, he went 75 spots above ADP earlier today. So like I mean, that people are going to overreact, and then
Oh, sure.
I mean that's the nature of the beast.
Well, I remember, oh God, Ollie Gordon last year had like scored a couple of touchdowns in the first couple preseason games and went from undrafted to like round 11, 12. It was like a 100 plus ADP jump.
Whew. Now, Ollie Gordon is no Connor Griffin, but
That's fair. That is very fair. Very fair assessment.
But I
And
will say, I'm sure that Connor is going to end up going too high. However, is there even a too high if he makes the team out of opening day? What I mean by is there too high? Because he's not going to go in the top 3 rounds. At least I highly doubt it. You know what I mean? But like if he starts going in round 5, 6, 7, that could still end up being fine if he's playing out of the gates. I mean, no one thinks he's going to play out of the gates. That's what everyone, the general prevailing thought is that the Pirates are going to pirate. They're going to keep him down. But maybe for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but I don't know. I mean, he continues to crush. I think they're just going to have the hardest time. And I've been kind of preemptively seeing this coming, and I haven't taken advantage. Like, I still have a very low amount of Connor Griffin. And I mean, I only have 1.3%. It is what it is. I mean, I've been talking about it, but I've just not been clicking his name. The ones I have been on stream. Brad says he's going like 120. Well, mostly 130 or later. This is my first draft of the day. So, Brad, I'm sure you've probably done several today and you've seen it. Have a hard time trusting the Pirates to have him up. I know. And you do hate money. I do. I mean, I talk about it, and I just still have not been drafting Connor Griffin. Again, the couple of times I have been on the stream.
But you've always been risk averse to young players to an extent. Like there's all the years that I've been drafting with you for 20 years, and we always make the joke about like you like old guys, you draft old guys all the time, but it's not. That's the joke, but really it's more of like just proven commodities. Oh, you definitely will draft rookies or young guy, those young players, but you've always tend to lean toward the proven commodities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I do. I just flat out do. And on Underdog specifically, I am looking for upside, but there's just some I'm biased. That's the thing is like, and I know that I am, because I will count things against some guys that I don't count against others. You know what I mean? And it's just, it doesn't really make sense. It's just sort of the way that I am. And I think we all are that way with guys, Brad says Wyatt was easier because he was an outfield. Yeah, last year, Wyatt Langford, or 2 years ago, Wyatt Langford. I think, was that 2 years ago? Whenever he was coming up,
he was.
But I like what you did there, Cory. You did go safe there with Trey Turner and Yamamoto. So you've got, what's that, a 1-1-3 start? I really like that.
Yeah, Turner's my guy. I'm a big Turner guy. I always have been. And then Yamamoto, it's one of those, like, I honestly just top pitchers. Like, I'm just going to grab a pitcher at this point. Yeah. There weren't any position players that were just jumping out at me. So,
yeah. So, Cory, I'm down here on your side of the draft board, the one that down on the end that you normally are.
I know.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and grab someone that you've taken on both streams that we've done together and keep this name going. And I will have a 1-1-3 start just like you do. And let's go ahead and bring in Marcell Ozuna's protege, O'Neal Cruz.
Teach him how to live.
He's got to show him the ropes.
Not how to drive.
Yeah, or like, how to be in a relationship. But
too soon?
Maybe too soon.
Too much? Not enough?
No, I think just right.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Good for him.
So yeah, with O'Neal, I have very small on him as well. He's one that I do want to have some more of. And since I've been talking about this, we'll see where he goes. But maybe I the one that spins up on Connor Griffin tonight. Who knows? We'll see. Whenever I have O'Neal Cruz, at least that puts that in my mind.
Yeah. Well, he's in my queue. not really, but he will. Well, and then I have that debate. I feel like I have every year. There's an auction league, keeper league that we've been doing for this is the 20th year of it, I think. And I have Connor Griffin at $1. It's one of those we get X amount of keepers. He's kind of on the bubble of do I keep him or not? But I've done the same thing the last couple of years of keeping these young guys, and Churio and Skeens. It's paid off. So
that trend goes back for you a long time. I always remember us having this exact same conversation in that league about, do you keep the young guy who's at $1 before he's proven anything that you had drafted the year before, all the way back to whenever you had Bryce Harper, all those years ago. So by the way, I wanted to say Saints to death, you are welcome, my friend, because I realized that by me taking O'Neal Cruz, I see that gave you your Padres trio of Tatis, Merrill, and Manny. So I'm glad I could help you out there, because I normally would have taken Manny. That's my more popular pick. Okay, now, do I stick with the Pirates theme and go Brian Reynolds?
Are you a Brian Reynolds guy?
No, that's why I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm not. I am Brian Reynolds. Let's see. I said 5% on O'Neal Cruz, 5% on Brian Reynolds. So I really don't draft either of them hardly. And I bet most of the times that I do, I've got them paired together, which is probably not a good thing. That's something about stacking that we've talked about, in that if you just stack too much, then you pair guys together too often, and then that pair doesn't work, or one of the two doesn't work, and now it hurts both,
Yeah.
Dave says, can't believe Walker is still there. Oh, what a shock. What a shock. I'm sure Dave, you can take him off the board first.
Pull the trigger. Don't be scared. Ooh.
And that's why we have the exposer. Absolutely, Brad. What are you looking at, Cor?
I think I'm looking at Michael R. Trout.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm doing it. I done did it.
You done did it.
I done did it. There's
no
going back now.
So we're both rocking 114s. Yep. Just keeping this build a moving.
I know, and I honestly, oh man, I know, there's a couple outfielders still. I mean, what Michael Harris? You like him? You like Michael Harris?
Not a ton here on Underdog. Yeah. Maybe I should like him more. I like him more in Roto, where the 2020 plays more.
I think because of the Mets connection with Soto, I might go Lou Bob here.
Lou Bob. And then you've got 5 stud outfields. Then you really don't have to worry about outfield. You can just sort of add another one at some point, and so be it.
This is the build that I do in football all the time. Is I'll usually I guess if you want to call it a hero RB build, but I love going having 5 receivers in the first 6 to 7 rounds. That's my favorite build.
Yeah, and then to translate the 1-1, that would probably have had you at 1 running back and probably 1 tight end, because you usually like to push quarterback.
Yeah.
I did drop, for anyone that wants it, that doesn't have it, I dropped the exposers link in the chat. So if anyone wants to go check out that exposer tool, it's free. It's amazing. We've talked about it before, but I absolutely love it. Well, I'm sticking right along with you, bro. We're just moving lockstep and barrel. And I am not going to take Michael Harris either. I'm going to go with my more favorite pick here on Underdog and grab Joe Adell. And then now I'm also kind of not having, again, gave Saints to death the big Harris fall there. I just like Joe Adell more, and I probably shouldn't, because again, I would rank Michael Harris more, higher in most anything else. Let me go check out my Michael Harris. I mean, I'm at 10%, which is double my Brian Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz. And then Joe Adell, though, I do know I want more. I have 14% Joe Adell. And I'd like that
percent to be up. Sounds like, again.
Yep. Sorry, Brad.
You're not that sorry, though.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But you grab Vinny P. That's Vinny
yeah.
P is the name I was going to click if I didn't take Joe Adell, but I decided to stick with the 5 outfield like you and just move it right along. Jack Caglione now up to pick 86. Caglione hit his first spring homer today, Core. And it was 460 feet at 115 miles an hour.
That's far.
So pretty good.
Probably hit a baseball over the mountains, I bet.
Probably. I bet you he could.
Pretty good.
So as I'm coming up here now, I know who I want. Let's see what Saints to Death does. He went with Andy Pages. Okay. So I'm just trying to justify whether or not I should take Bo Bichette. But I don't think I'm going to, and I'm going to stick with what I like to do and what I normally do, and that's grab Jacob deGrom as my pitcher too, because old guy. And again, just at this point here at pick 90 or 89, I mean, I just don't see any other pitcher that has the chance to be one of the top 5, 6 best if he's healthy. And I think deGrom can be in the top 6 best pitchers easily if he just has a healthy season.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just again, it seems like, I mean, he got through, knock on wood, if he's through the health stuff from all those years, then it's a set it, forget it guy.
Exactly. He made it through last year and, had 160 plus innings or 170 plus innings. And yeah, he wasn't a top 5 or 6 guy, but it was his first full season back in 4 years it had been since he'd been in and out of health. So to me, it kind of makes sense that this year would be his kind of back to himself full breakout or re-breakout. All right, what you looking at?
Another one of my guys. And also, I guess maybe I'm just sticking in the
James Wood combo.
Just I'm just staying in the East and just Mets and Nationals.
You've got a couple
Philly,
LA.
Philly.
So you're going to stay in the East, other than you're going to mix in a few LA guys for the West Coast appeal, but you're staying out of the middle of the country.
Yeah.
Okay, right back to you.
Steve Kwan? Am I crazy to go another outfielder here?
I mean, no. Then you could just be done, and then the rest of this team, finish with 7 pitchers, 7 infield, and the 6 outfield. Do it.
I'm going Steve Kwan.
Steve Kwan.
Old Steve. Yeah, I mean, I love that outfield, and now my strategy gets easier. I've narrowed it down to 2 positions. I can just go hammer because I mean, I not that this I like a lot of the pitchers that are on the board here. It makes it easier to push it whenever there's that many available at that particular position. We've seen it a million times where outfield dries up faster. So
now you don't have to worry about it. And I mean,
especially
really,
jerks like us that are taking all of them.
Right. And really, I don't have to worry about it either. I can just sort of sit back and be cool with whoever I add. Bobby Boucher, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you in here. So Bobby Boucher just jumped in and said, how high does Connor Griffin go? It's a great question. And it's a question that I can tell you the answer to. And this draft is 104 because I just took him right now.
Ooh, baby.
So I don't care to jump him tonight in this, again, with 1% Connor Griffin shares. And the fact that I specifically took the 2 Pirates, I don't want to keep pushing it and then him go to someone else. I mean, literally me talking about it, doing it on the stream. I think my only other Griffin shares were from stream drafts. So yeah, 104 is the highest I've seen. Well, there you go. I did it. So why not? Why not?
It's only going to get out.
Yeah, it does.
This is the format to do it.
This is the format to do it.
Yeah,
and this is the time, because I really don't care if he doesn't work out, because I think he's going to. And if he doesn't, it is what it is. This will just be a team that just gets erased into the nether of the teams that don't work.
Yep. No, I'm 100% behind it.
If he makes opening day top 5 rounds, yeah, that's the thing. What if, because we saw this happen with Jackson Churio 2 years ago, right? Wasn't Churio a rookie 2 years ago?
Where was it 2 or 3?
It could have been 3, but like where there was speculation, will he get called up, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened? The Brewers turned around and signed him to that contract before he even played a game. They gave him like an 8-year, $80 million contract. Who's not to say that couldn't happen with Connor Griffin tomorrow, the next day? What if all of a sudden out of nowhere, they announced that they've signed Connor Griffin to a 7-year, $115 million deal or something like that?
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked at all. Yep. And Bobby, I'm glad that you called that out in the chat, because it helped me go ahead and make that decision that this is the time. Don't push it. Just do it now.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% behind it.
And then Brad says Wyatt was 2 and he ended up top 50. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if that happened, he would go top 5 rounds. That could be wrong. I mean, again, time will tell. We'll see if it's right to do it, but still, I believe in it. I just think that kid's special. All right. Now, do I stick with my guns of Yuri Perez, who's the guy that I've drafted the most, or do I grab old Kevin Gossman? I stick with the guns. I stick with the gun of Yuri Perez. I watched him pitch versus the Cardinals yesterday, and he didn't look great with his control, but I mean, his stuff is still filthy. So, I mean, I think he walked a couple guys, and but it's early. And as you reminded me about the Cliff Lee thing, you can't take much away from pitchers' results in spring.
Yep. Yeah. Who cares?
As long as their velocity is good and their arm is good, they're healthy.
Spring's like NFL preseason, doesn't mean anything.
Led to great content. That's right, Bobby. And then Brad says if he gets up that higher, it's just easier to fade. Yeah, very true. Won't be easier for me because I've pretty much already been fading him. But Bobby Boucher, I'm at 8% Griffin at his 150 plus ADP. Would like to be double digits. Yeah, for sure. Grayson through 98. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything about that until we got to the later rounds, but I noticed Grayson's name at the top of the miles per hour leaderboards today, which was very, very good to see.
Last stream I was on, I sniped you on Grayson.
I know. That's why I wasn't going to bring it up, because I was going to wait till the end and be like, I got you this time, but
gotcha.
So I see you just went with the gas man.
I went the gas man. Yeah. I mean, like I'm waiting this long for my SP2, or, like I think that's a good scenario to be in. Man, quite a fall for Yandy. Why do you think?
I don't think that there's any reason behind it. I think it's just the pure luck of the way this draft is fall. So I say go ahead and grab him. Go ahead and grab him.
Yeah. I did.
I think Yandy's just not sexy. So, and I'm the one
that's for sure.
I'm the one that has Junior Caminero, and probably a lot of times he would go to the person that has Junior. Brad says I like giving away all the secrets. Yeah, you do. All right.
Spoiler. I think this one.
So, here's some news that I also saw today. I see the little boxes lit up on Trey Savage. I already know what it's going to say without clicking. They came out today and said he's going to be worked on a strict innings limit, which I don't think is necessarily bad, but that's going to lower his price. Sure. That'll cause people to go away from him. Okay. Now, this is normally the time that I would take Varsho. But I'm not going to do it for this team because I want to go ahead and grab a different position, that position being pitcher. And I'm looking between Robbie Ray or Luis Castillo. So I've got Skubal, DeGrom, and Yuri. So, you know what? I'm pivoting away from that altogether. I'm going to infield, and I'm going to grab Munetaki Murakami because this is also someone, Murakami and Okamoto, who I've talked about. Those two guys specifically with the WBC starting soon, their price can start rising quite a bit too, and some hype starting to get around them. So I think grabbing him now while he's still at this price in around 12, 11 to 12, I could have probably pushed it around, but just go ahead and grab it now. With Connor Griffin as my infield too, I kind of felt like, I need to spend up a little bit more on infield just in case.
Yeah.
And then let's see what we got here. Yeah, Woodruff also bad news. Yeah, Jordan Walker still hitting balls into the dirt. Yeah, well, that's going to happen. I mean, Jordan is not going to be an overnight thing. When you are laying in the bed, the Jordan Walker bed, it's going to take time. And hopefully it'll click in and he'll figure it out. Brad, the other night I was cracking up watching the stream that you and Jason had whenever Sheep kept throwing up that freaking Jordan Walker thing on the screen, and then would throw up this picture of Jordan Walker every time he was talked about. And then anytime that he brought up Logan O'Hop or anything to do with Driveline, would pull up this Logan O'Hop video of him batting shirtless, and it was funny. It was a good stream. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I would love to be able, I've told Cory, I would love to have on hand, little video clips to insert of things that we say as we move this channel along. One day, maybe we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll hire a producer.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is they did have another person who was doing it so that the two people draft weren't. Sunday night this week. All right, sweet. So Sunday night this week, Brad and Jason will be back drafting a dinger together, with a sweet little intro song too. I'm assuming that's probably, Brad, was that like an AI generated intro song? I don't know, but it was funny. It made me laugh as well.
Oh, you got you another pirate.
I did. I was, I had to go ahead and get Ozuna on this team. I couldn't not let Ozuna not be on this team. Man,
where was it that I can't remember where I am on the first stream that I did. I took Ozuna, and you kind of, that's when you got into, well, he hasn't signed anywhere yet, but I don't remember what the ADP was where I got him, but it might end up being a steal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Okay, coming to your pick.
Yeah. Shoot. Albies was on my short list of guys I wanted there. But I think I'm going to take a guy that you had already just mentioned in Luis Castillo.
Yeah, buddy. Good fall there. Yeah. So they said it was AI generated song by Matt. Brad had no idea. He said it was probably the best thing. And then Bobby says the theme song straight out of 90s Disney Channel. And then Saints to Death with some nice little lyrics. Wish Miley or Hillary Duff was the singer, would be elite. Oh, man. One day maybe that's also something that I might end up doing, is having some sort of little music or intro thing. Duggar, he specifically, he was in that draft with them the other night, Cory, and he heard that intro song, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he said, the next time that I'm on, I want you to make me an intro song. He's like, we all need them. Cory needs one. Blake needs one. Everyone needs their own specific intro song. And I was like, well, if you want to work on that, you let me know.
Right.
But Duggar loved it. He really wants his own intro song.
Well, that's what, and then we talked about the Sia and having that just ready to go. And I made the GIF the other day for it, because I was like, I can't believe it took us that long. But you just gotta, I really want that incorporated.
We'll probably get that because we're just a month plus, just barely over a month into the channel here. And we're planning on doing this moving forward. So we're going to have a lot of experience this year once because baseball's only 30 more days, and then we're done drafting baseball. And then we'll be doing football. Saints to Death. I know you'll be on here drafting with us all the time in football. I don't know, Bobby Boucher, if you're a big football guy, but we'll be doing football all the rest of the year. So we'll have a lot of stuff that we learn and integrate in with football.
Bobby Boucher.
I know he has. I know Bobby Boucher has to be into football. He's got to. Brad's not though. Brad's like, yeah, football.
Yeah.
Foosball.
The devil.
It's the devil.
Did you notice I kept my trend? I added another Met in my last pick.
I did. I love the Simeon pick. Love
Yeah.
the Simeon pick. I'm all
Nico,
about
like
Simeon
corner
this year.
like that. If it weren't for already having the Mets, I probably would have gone that direction. I'm like, I'm just going to keep the Met train going.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. I mean, so Simeon, here's a great example of a guy that's at his all-time lowest value, right?
Here's the guy. It's just sounded
Yeah.
like Collinsworth there.
Football is fun. Yes, it is, Billy. Yes, it is.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So, baseball is my love. You know this, Corey.
Sure.
Baseball is my love. It always has been, and it always will be. But dang it, I love fantasy football too. And I love drafting football teams on Underdog. I can't wait to start talking about it. Simeon hit a double today. Hello. Hello.
You guys are idiots.
Doubles for days. Doubles for days.
Just give me them dubbies.
For another on-hand video clip we need is woo woo woo. We gotta have the woo 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 from Mighty Ducks on hand.
Oh yeah, Brian Woo.
Yep, every time he's drafted. I need for James Wood, I need the Family Guy James Wood song, like 5 seconds of Peter Griffin singing, I have James Wood. And then Bobby Boucher says, I play football, a lot less volume, 20-ish BBMs was top 150 in 2024 BBM. Hello. Keeping the bankroll still going. Yeah, I'd say top 150. Heck yeah, that's awesome, bro. I'd let the Bobby Boucher name down, not Maxine.
Yeah. You gotta bump those numbers up.
Gotta bump it up.
If you're gonna, bring some honor to that name. Just saying. No right, pressure.
Eovaldi, Lodolo, old man, young man. What do I do?
You are in a pickle.
I am in a pickle.
I mean, I like Lodolo. I always did like he's a guy that I've liked for last few years, and he had the stuff there for a minute, but yeah, why not?
There's this Norm Macdonald bit that I love, and he's like, isn't it weird that Paul Newman is an old man, but Gary Oldman is a young man?
Yeah, you ever think about that?
You ever think about that? It's crazy.
I love Norm.
Me too. I love Norm. Okay, we're coming back to round 14. We are almost done. This draft's flying.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Dave, that was your round for Jordan Walker. Now you're going to get sniped. You waited too long. Sorry, bro. Let's see. Brad says, I feel like Saint sings our intro song in the shower, and I'm a little scared. He just listened to it a time or two. I got to listen to it again. I'm going to listen to it again tonight because I only listened to it the other night, and it cracked me up. I'm going to send it to you, Corey, too, so you know what I'm talking about. All right, you are up.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to go Walker here.
I like that. I was going to say Zach Gallen's your boy.
Yeah. He hasn't signed
he signed.
Anywhere.
Yeah. He re-signed with the Diamondbacks.
Did he? Okay. How well? What,
one
year?
Or
1 year?
No, 1 year. Literally, he signed for the exact same contract that he had declined from like his qualifying contract. It was 1 year, $22.5 million. And then he declined it, went into the free agency. No one wanted him. So he signed a 1 year for the exact same amount.
Well, I'm bringing him home. Love him.
There it is. There it is. I know he made it back around to you. You do. You love Zach Gallen. And honestly, he's worked out good. Even though he wasn't great, he's worked out good for you all these years. Like he's been a good pitcher.
Well, last year was the fewest shares I've had of him. I only had him in the Dynasty League that we're in, which I won. No big deal. I am Dynasty.
Mm-hmm. You are Dynasty.
Yeah, I am Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was the only league. And that league, it wasn't, he didn't really, there was some weeks that he was brutal, but I finally was like, okay, we gotta take him out the lineup for a little bit. Let him get his head together.
Yeah, exactly. Let him get his bearings.
Yeah.
Cory, this couldn't have worked out more perfect for me. I'm going to be way too high on this guy, but I'm drafting him all the time. Tetsuya Imai.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I also like the Asian imports. You know, I just can't help it. I mean, I would have taken Okamoto, but I see the guy he was taken last round before I had a chance. He went before my Lodolo pick. Man, he's up to 159 now. Gosh, it was so nice whenever I could get Okamoto in round 18 and 19. He homered yesterday. That's another thing. Okamoto hit his first homer. So here's the steam. You know, like that's why I'm like Murakami. As soon as he hits his first home run, boom, here we go. Here's the steam coming. Bobby said, heard Brad and Jason are performing the song live Sunday. I'm here for it. So Saints to Death has a 4-4-7 build. I see that as he's come. So he's not going to be taking any more outfield.
What's your build right now? What are you at?
5-4-6.
5-4-6.
And I think I'm going to stick with my 6 outfield as well because I really like my 6 that I have.
I think I am too.
So okay, well there goes Amanaga. That's one of them. I don't one Asian pitcher. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of Kikuchi, so I don't draft Kikuchi. I've been talking about Garrett Cole back and forth with Duggar. What to do with Garrett Cole? Saints, if you grab Garrett Cole, it's cool. But this is what I'm considering here. Because let me see how often I take him. 9%. That's a decent amount. Oh, you grabbed good. You grabbed Herrera. Good. That's one less draft that I have to have Herrera in. So do I take another Garrett Cole? I do. I think this is a good spot as my 6th pitcher, and I'm going to do 7. And my 5 that I have above him, I like. They're all currently healthy, so I'm not waiting on anyone else. And I'm anchored by Scooble. Yeah. I think this is a good draft to go ahead and grab Garrett Cole. I don't know when he'll be back, but as long as he's back and healthy, I don't care if it's halfway through the season. Dave says Walker will play every day. He is going to be an all-star. This is for Underdog only. ESPN leagues. He will be terrible, Spence. And Brad says, wait, do you like Walker more than me? I can send you my psychiatrist info if you need it. He does. I think Dave needs that. So, Brad, if you want to forward me, I'll get that info over to him. What's each of your biggest fades that scares you the most this year? Talking top 100 guys, less than 4% got any? Yeah, I do. Well, one of them I was talking about earlier, Bobby Boucher, and that's Mr. Yordan Alvarez. And Brad asked me a very good question, and that is, don't I like money? Yes, I am at 2% Yordan Alvarez. Here's my top ones. I'm at 2% Yordan Alvarez, 2% Jose Ramirez, 2% Corbin Carroll. In round 3, I'm at 2% Pete Crow Armstrong, 3% Matt Olson. Round 4, 3% Yamamoto, 3% Ketel Marte. So those are out of the top 4 rounds. Those are my biggest fades. I don't love fading any of them. It's just I like more people around them. The only one I kind of feel confident with fading is Pete Crow Armstrong in round 3. I actually love Pete Crow Armstrong. It's just I don't think he's worth round 3 in this. But yeah, I know for Cory, this is just Cory's 4th draft. So there's really no fades or targets. Cory's just building the best teams he can.
Yeah, I don't have any specific fades. Like the only time I have any kind of fade of any kind is if a player screws me over the year before or something, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll never draft them again. For a long time, I had to swear off Yu Darvish. It just seemed like every time I had him, he just killed me in some way. Every year I was a sucker for Strasburg. He'd get hurt, and I'd be like, never again, and then I go right back to it, and I just couldn't quit the guy.
Yeah, and these guys too, I mean, especially like Yordan and Jose Ramirez, a lot of it's just because, again, like Jose Ramirez, I'm only have that low of him in the dinger because I don't have a lot of picks at the back end. I've been getting more top end picks. And on top of that, oh gosh, I just got the perfect pick in my queue. Perfect for this team. You'll see it in a second. And on top of that, I just don't take infield at the top very often. I have like 12 guys in the top 5 rounds I've never drafted under 4%. So Brad has a bunch. So Brad has a bunch of guys at the top that he's fading completely. So see, at least I'm not fading any of them completely. Like at least I've got some teams with those guys. Because I mean, I do kind of want a little bit more Jose Ramirez, to be honest with you. He's one that I kind of feel like I need to put a focus on more. Judge Schwarber. A lot of it is how often do you get what picks? Cory, I want to show you something real quick. Check this out here. So this is the exposer tool. This is my portfolio and the dingers. Check this out. Look at my draft slot frequency of the dingers. Look at the top here, 1, 2, and 3, and then the middle is not a ton. And then I'm 8 times each of the 9, 10, 11. I've been starting to get a couple more 12s recently. But you see, the majority.
I'm coming in a little late on this, but remind me, was this something that you synced up with Underdog, or did you have to enter any of this manually?
Oh, no. Let me show you. It's so awesome. Okay.
I assumed it was synced up with it.
So you see, I'm going to show, and that way anyone else that wants to try this that doesn't know, I've got a minute here. So you see this tab that says My Data, and right here, upload CSV. So literally all you do is you go to Underdog, you go to drafts. You need to do this on your computer and not your phone. Go to completed, click on, so you see you've got the 3 different types, just like over here, as you see the three different kinds. And then all you got to do is click on this, hit email exposure CSV. Okay. Once you do that, then you go to your email. Once you save it, then it's in your downloads folder. And then you just literally just go to exposers, hit upload CSV, and then boom, it puts all this in there for you. And this tool is incredible, awesome. Cory. Like look at this. So ADP board, this is it's so quick and easy. This is Dinger. Look, I can just easily see all of my percents of the Dinger. This is how I can quick and easily go find my percent on someone. Which it's my pick right now. I'm going to go throw the draft board back up there in a second. But before I do, let me throw this guy in my queue and then go see. Look right here. I'm about to add another Addison Barger share, 15.4%. So in round 17, he's someone I draft a lot of. Gosh, look at Schwellenbach. That's still, and I've not been taking him for so long now, but still at 20%.
Did you have any Pablo Lopez?
Thankfully, not much. That's one that not Jacob Lopez.
I'll have to decide if I keep him in Dynasty or just cut him loose.
I think you keep him in Dynasty. 3.8% Pablo Lopez. So yeah, that one I kind of escaped unscathed, thankfully. But let me go pull back the drafts active Dinger. But I was going to show you one other thing real quick, Core. But is your pick coming up? Yeah, your pick's coming up. Let's let you get your pick in. Dave just grabbed him, Chandler Simpson. So Dave's got a 5.76 build. Saints to Death has a 5.67. Brad has a 6.66. He's got the Devils build. And what are you about to do, my friend?
I think I'm looking at infield here.
Westberg's hurt.
Yeah, Steer, or there's a couple guys kind of
Paredes. Do you have a Houston thing?
Oh, I do have Houston. I could go Paredes there.
Yeah, I think Paredes is a good pick. Rutschman's not bad.
We'll do that. We'll just stick the Houston build there.
I like who I know you had Christian Walker.
Walker and Paredes. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But still, no, I prefer like Spencer Steer, to be honest with you. If he's going to be good this year, I will be way off of it. Let's go back over here and see Spencer Steer, 5%. And those were almost all early before some of the moves that the Reds have made. Kodai Senga, that just went at the turn. That's a name that I've put on my radar. He's throwing gas in spring training. He's like, I saw he was back up to 97, 98.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, you be again 2 drafts in a row.
I know.
Brad, this is your fault.
Thanks for the reminder, Brad. I forgot it even exists. No, I did think, like, just not like 2 minutes ago, I was like, oh yeah, let me scroll down and see where he's at, make sure I don't forget about him.
I wanted to go back to this real quick, Core, and show you now that you've picked.
Yep.
So if I go back over to here and I type in Schwellenbach, so this is so cool. So look at this. So you can see here, I can go between the different slates, but from the main slate, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Look at all these dots. These are all the times that I drafted starting January 12th on the main slate. So you see how often I was drafting him. And then look, I had already started slowing down before the injury. See, the last time I took him was on February 8th, so I haven't drafted him since the injury. But I was, thankfully, I had already slowed down because I'm still have too high of exposure to him. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Are you up?
Ooh, yeah. I was up, and I almost just got autoed. I got a quick star in there. Chris Bassett. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
But it's
fine. Yeah, it's fine. He's just
your what?
SP7.
7.
Yeah, he's solid. But this back to this tool real quick, Corey. So you can also see, like, look at the ADP gains lost. Do you see this here? So like my ADP and then what their ADP is currently. So where that like, let me go to Okamoto. Okay. All right. Check out Okamoto from the main slate. First off, look how often I draft him. All the time. Yeah. And I have been all the time consistently. Here's a little gap of a few days, but this is what I wanted to point out. My ADP is 198 out of the main slate. His current ADP is 179. And what did I say he went for tonight? It was like 150 or something like that. So yeah, anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you that. That's an awesome tool. We'll be using that for football. You'll use that and we'll use that for football all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Oh man, awesome. Here's an interesting thing. Look, Zach Veen just went. I don't think I've seen Zach Veen go. Let me go back over to the exposure tool and go and type his name in and see if it shows up. It does. So someone has taken him before. This isn't the first time he's been drafted, but still, that's the first time I think I've seen Zach Veen go. There was this whole thing about Zach Veen, about adding 42 pounds. Did you see this, Corey?
No.
So apparently,
me too.
So apparently, Zach Veen was like big drinker, or maybe he was in drugs. I don't really know, but he talked about getting clean, and he added a bunch of weight. And I immediately was like, "Oh, geez, that's terrible." A fast guy, not that he got clean. I'm glad he got clean, but like putting on 42 pounds, I was like, he's known for speed. Like he's got to be just fat. Well, I saw him hitting the other day. He looks good. He doesn't look fat. He looks good. His body looks just completely different. He looks a lot like bigger and bulkier and like, but like in a good way. Like, and then I saw him hit a homer. So I think it was nose drugs. That's kind of what I was thinking. Keeping him skinny. Okay. I've got just a few seconds here. I'm going to do dang it. I couldn't get to it in time. I was going to get Ryan O'Hearn in there and I missed it. I still got Jonathan Aranda because I started Aranda and then it just hit me. Oh, I could do a Pirates thing. That's all right, though. I like Aranda more than O'Hearn anyway.
Well, and I was curious because you and I had the same build. So as far as 766, so I was wondering what direction you were going to go.
Yep. Okay. So I missed probably a lot of the chat here. So let me see. So blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm back. Okay. We will get another dinger exposure review at 100 dingers. Yep. Sure will. I will be doing another dinger exposure review, which that'll be soon. Next couple days. All the guys in caps I have 0 of. I had him queued. Senga, I've been big on. Number one pick in the draft. Oh, Michael, you're in here. That's the Senga drafter. Nice to have you in here. Michael Dye. Michael, what was your name in here? Scratch 5. Awesome. Glad to see you in here. Senga, I was huge on Senga last year. I drafted Senga like crazy last year. I thought he was an awesome value last year, and I got burned so hard. That's why. And then Bayouche Veen hit a big walk-off bomb. Yeah, dude, he's been going since he hit one for 468 yesterday. Yeah, he looked good. I saw that bomb. Brad says Nez. I think it was, oh God, you actually made a good pick. So yeah, anyway, who did you get with your last pick, Core?
Alec Boehm.
Alec Boehm. Nice. Yeah. I like me some Alec Boehm.
Yeah. I should be a great lineup. I have Trey Turner too. So again, sticking with my theme of the East.
Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. The East theme.
I mean, I don't want to, not to brag, but I'm the highest I have the highest projection. So basically it means I'm going to win.
So basically that means that you just lock this league up. As we all know, projections are the end all be all.
It is the end all be all. Like that. If you win the projection, like these leagues are won out like through projections.
Okay. I want to ask you guys, Brad just said, are you doing reviews or straight to the next one? Bobby, Brad, Saints to Death, Dave, you guys tell me, do you want to just jump right into the next one and then I'll review teams at the end, or do you want me to go ahead and review our teams from the draft right now? You tell me. A couple people post. So Cory, while they're posting, I am going to look at your team. So okay. Let's look at your team real quick here. All right, Cory Lee. Let me take the comments off. Okay, they say review, so we're just going to go ahead and go through. So, okay. Cory, do you want to just hang on while I review these teams?
Yeah.
And then I'll do yours at the end. Then.
Yeah, I mean that draft went super fast, so I'm good.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so let's do the reviews. So we'll start off with Scratch 5 at pick 1, who went with a 7-7-6 build. Did I take the comments off the screen so people could see? Yeah, I did. Duggar had mentioned that to me while I'm doing reviews. Take the comments off the screen. I just got to remember to put them back on. Okay, so this was Crochet and Christopher Sanchez and Chris Sale. First off, I absolutely adore those top three. Like, oh, bro, love it. And then because your top three are so good, it makes me like the Bradish, Bubba, Glasnow, Senga even more, because all of these guys have really good upside. And yeah, they all have their own. You know, Bubba's young. We don't know. I saw him be kind of wild in his start yesterday or 2 days ago, but still, I love Bubba. Glasnow, we know his risk. Bradish, we know what they're talking about with cap and innings. Senga's coming off of his terrible season, but every one of them have their own upside, and I love it with that. So very, very good pitching staff. And then Corey Seager, William Contreras, Sal Stewart, J.J. Weatherholt, Will Smith, Alec Burleson, Mason Wynn. Oh, I was about to say, does Jordan Walker make his way onto this team? He did not. Dave must have got Jordan Walker. I missed that one. We'll be there in a minute. But I like the little Cardinals thing you did here, the trio at the end. That's one thing that I've talked about with the Cardinals, is they are good to wait and take at the end. I see you spent up on JJ a little bit, which I don't dislike at all. Now, your infield overall is weak because by anchoring with Corey Seager at the top, who obviously can be a stud, but every single one of us know that Corey Seager is probably one of the bigger injury risks. And so now if he's out, and, you know, William Contreras, he is a stud, but what held him back last year? He hurt his thumb, and he's a catcher. Who's not to say that could happen again? I hope not, but that's where your infield could have problems. But overall, though, I like the group of names. It is a weaker infield group as a whole, though. But you did go with 7 of them. And then the 6 outfield, now this is strong. Shohei, Wyatt Langford, and Teoscar. Love the top 3. I've talked about, again, Teoscar being one of those where it's like, is he going to be almost exclusively on Shohei teams? The way that the draft board lies, he just is always on the left side of the draft board where Shohei is. So, that's something that I would ask you, Scratch 5, and that is if you are using how often you're drafting, if you're looking at your exposures, and are you taking Teoscar on your Shohei teams, or do you ever take Teoscar on his own unstacked? TJ Friedel, Dalen Lyle, Jorge Soler. I'm not big on Friedel. That's one I'm not huge on, but I love Dalen Lyle. I'm a huge Dalen Lyle guy. I think he's a stud. And Jorge Soler is a great pick at the end because it's just power for days. So Friedel's the only one that I'm iffy on, but I get Friedel as a good, solid player who's leading off for the Reds. And just that right there, leading off for the Reds is a good thing. So overall, scratch 5, good, positive team. I'm a fan of it. So now let's look at Dave. Dave went with a 776. Dave, glad to see you with listening to my structure advice of 776. Let's see how you put it together. Paul Skeens, double Hunters, Hunter Brown, Hunter Green, with Edward Cabrera, Cade Horton. Of course, you went Dustin May, and then Bryce Miller. I love your pitching staff, bro. A very, very big fan of the top 5 in particular. Dustin May, I love that you just stayed on brand and you believe in him. Stick to your guns, bro. I know you are a Cardinals homer. There's no doubt about it, but hey, I love that you are so confident with it. And me and Cory talked about Dustin May is a great buy for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing but upside, because if he sucks or gets hurt, who cares? And then Bryce Miller is a good late pick, good bounce back pick, and he was an ADP fall. Your infield, Bobby Witt Jr., Jazz Chisholm Jr., double juniors, Alex Bregman, Bryce Terang, Ozzie Albies, Wilson Contreras, and Brendan Donovan. This infield is awesome. I literally have no notes on your infield. Your infield is really good. You spent 4 in the top 101 picks. That would be maybe the only thing, is you could have maybe moved Terang to, let's see what your outfield. Yeah, now that I just look at your outfield, yeah, that's where you could have adjusted, and you could have moved Terang or Bregman to outfield, or maybe both, and then still, but this infield is great. I love your infield. Wilson Contreras, I saw him hit a bomb today, and I am so big on Wilson Contreras. I'm not going to go look at my exposures, but I know I'm really high on him. I pretty much am every year. Okay, outfield. So Jarren Duran, Jacob Marcy. Now, both of those I love, but I don't think I have any teams where Jarren Duran is my outfield 1. I almost always have Duran where I've already had an outfielder. So seeing him at the top is a little jarring for me. It just doesn't quite feel right seeing him as outfield 1, but I like Jarren Duran. And Marcy, I love. Marcy's going to be one of my biggest picks this year. I've been drafting him since the first draft that I did of Gladiator at the beginning of the season. And Dave, if you remember, I had picked Jacob Marcy up in our league last year right after he came up, and he was a stud for me down the stretch in our points league that we have together. Colton Cowser, not that big. Just to be honest with you, I don't love Colton Cowser. I could be wrong. That's one I'm definitely open to. I could be wrong. He was awesome in his rookie year, but I don't know. I'm just not a big Colton Cowser guy. Mickey Moniak, I think, is a good pick, although you spent up on him. I don't know exactly where he was, but I see based off ADP, it was probably too big of a spend up based off of ADP. But overall, though, I like Mickey Moniak. I think he's a good player and former number 1 overall pick. Jordan Walker, there he is. You got him at pick 188. So you got your guy. And then Chandler Simpson, which, again, I know I've made my thoughts known. I can't wait to find out what Chandler Simpson does this year. I just won't have any of them on Underdog. I'll own them in other things, just not over
Spence,
here.
I am going to actually have to jump off. So,
okay, let me go ahead and grab your team real quick, Core. Yeah. So you did 776, and you went with Yamamoto, Gossman, Luis Castillo, Zach Gallen, Bubik, Mitch Keller, and Grayson. So, Core, what do you think about your staff real quick before I tell you my thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like how it turned out, considering that I kind of waited a little bit. I went heavy outfield to start, so it's littered with my guys. Like I get Gallen, Bubik. I've been a Bubik guy, and like I was happy that to get Gaussman, like get the gas man a little past ADP. Like felt that made me feel a little better, but getting like a solid SP2 and we'll see what Castillo and Gallen do, but overall, I like it.
These top four, I see they're all past ADP. They were all ADP falls.
Mhm.
And then, of course, I like the Grayson pick at the end and Bubik. Mitch Keller's the only one that I'm just sort of indifferent on. I don't hate it by any means. It's just and
What was available at the time, he was the only guy that I'm like, it safe
yeah,
at the time.
I would say I would call him safe-ish, right? Yeah, safe-ish, at least for innings, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And then Trey Turner, C.J. Abrams, Yandy, Simeon, Christian Walker, Paredes, and Bohm. Love your infield. Love your infield. I already know I'm going to like your outfield, but you pushed infield 1 to Turner at pick 46. Then you got C.J. Abrams as a pair piece with James Wood at 94, and you're an Abrams guy. The Yandy, the good fall of Yandy. You getting Simeon in with your Mets piece with Soto, and do you have another Met or just so? Yeah, Lubob.
Yeah, Lubob.
Lubob. And then I think Bohm at the end is a really great piece, and Paredes gives you the spike week. Walker's sick. You got him at a good fall. Yeah, man, I think your infield is great. And then your outfield, I already knew that was going to be Studley with spending up on it like you did. Juan Soto, James Wood, Roman Anthony, Mike Trout, Lubob, and Steve Kwan. And honestly, doesn't Steve Kwan feel even better with having the Mike Trout and Lubob, where his steadiness can kind of help make up for their spiky and or
there might be
time they might miss.
Some volatility there with those guys. So
and Soto should be a locked and loaded outfielder, one of your 3 outfields every week for sure. You know what I mean? He pretty much doesn't have down weeks, or they're very rare. So yeah, Cory, I think this may be the best team that you've drafted on stream.
Yeah, it definitely is. I've drafted on now opposite sides, and just I loved what was available at that. And then not just saying getting the third pick. Obviously, it's great to get one of those studs, but really, honestly, I just liked what was there a lot more than what I had been accustomed to on the other side.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Cory, buddy, thank you so much. That was super fun. I'm glad you came on tonight, and I'll finish up this, and then we'll get joined in another draft. But until next time, my friend.
Sounds good, guy. Good talking to you all. See you guys.
Bye. Okay, back over here, guys. So we looked at Dave. So we still have Saints to Death, Brad, and then we'll run through mine real quick. So Saints to Death did a 7-6-7. Gilbert, Joe Ryan, Robbie Ray, Bybee, McClanahan, Braxton Ashcraft, Luis Hill. Saints to Death, I've seen so many of your teams. This feels like one of your weaker pitching staffs, although I obviously see all of the appeal. These top 5 guys, these could all be really good. Obviously, we've got the Joe Ryan question mark. We should have the Logan Gilbert bounce back. Robbie Ray is who he is. Tanner Bybee is a solid pick. I've been also taking McClanahan and Braxton Ashcraft. Luis Hill is the only one that I've just been staying away, and I'm wondering if that's wrong. So I'm interested that you picked him. That puts him on my radar. I know he was so good as a rookie a couple years ago, but I just wasn't even that into him then. He's just never really stood out to me. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's his name. It's just weird. Luis Gill. I know it's Heel, but whatever. Your infield, Kurtz, Mookie Betts, Manny, Salvi, Ivan Herrera, and Bryce Eldridge. Obviously, Studley, and you did the 6th. The question is, will Eldridge work as the 6th and not a 7th? That's to be determined, of course, but I love the top 5. And I think the top 5's dependability, and especially with these veterans of Betts, Manny, and Salvi, that allows you to take Bryce Eldridge. And then your outfield, Tatis, Merrill, Michael Harris, Andy Paez, Dylan Cruz, Trent Grisham, Ramon Laureano. Very good outfield. Very good outfield. I don't love Pages. I don't love Andy Pages, though. I just prefer to say Pages as opposed to Pages. And I've not been drafting very much Trent Grisham, although I have been trying to mix him in. Same with Ramon Laureano. I don't know. You tell me, Saints to Death. How do you feel about your team? Because it's a good team. It's solid. But I feel like for the teams that I've seen you draft, it's one of your weaker. But it definitely has a lot of upside. I don't know. It's just kind of strange because I really like your people all the way through. But it just feels a little off. So you let me know what you think, or if I'm off base there. Maybe you're like, no, this team's awesome, Spencer, stupid, because I probably am. All right, Brad, let's see what you did here. So woo, 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 Brian Woo, Mackenzie Gore, Brandon Woodruff, Jack Flaherty, Shane Baz, Matthew Boyd, Joey Cantillo. Um, Other than Woodruff, who I know that you know the Woodruff news, you even commented on it, but you got him at a 20 pick ADP fall. Just him as the pitcher 3, though, is the thing that makes me a little nervous because Flaherty and Baz, it's kind of like, well, now I feel like you almost have to count on. I love the Woo McKenzie. So overall, the pitching is a little weak, but it could work, although it's definitely one of the weaker pitching staffs that I've seen you draft. So I'm sure you've got good hitting. Ketel Marte, Zach Neto, Vinny P, Matt Chapman, Hunter Goodman, Tovar, Devers, Rooker, Taylor Ward, Ramos, Doyle, Willie Castro, Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, I knew you'd have good hitting. And of course, you had to work the Tyler O'Neill in there. You like that, Dave? You like that? But other than Tyler O'Neill, that would be the only one that I don't love for this team. I feel that but honestly, you didn't really need the other. I was about to say maybe you could have used it on infield. I don't know that you needed the other infield. Honestly, I think the 6 infield are good. So you probably did need the extra outfield. Maybe you could have done an 8 pitcher build. I don't think you ever do 8 pitcher builds, though. I think you told me, Brad, that you never do 8 pitcher builds. I think if I had your team, maybe Tyler O'Neill would have been an 8th pitcher because I really like your 6 outfield and your 6 infield. And then finally, we'll look at mine. Let's see what sort of travesty I put together. Actually, I think it was a pretty good team. Skubal, DeGrom, Yuri, Lodolo, Imai, Cole, Bassett. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about my pitching staff, but I don't mind it. I mean, I like my top. I mean, you have Skubal. That gives you a lot of room for taking some risk, but I don't know. I like my pieces individually. I don't love the way they all look together. And then like Chris Bassett at the end here, we'll see. I think that's my second Chris Bassett team. And then obviously I did the Connor Griffin thing, and this is a Pirates build. I added Brandon Lau, got O'Neill Cruz and Brian Reynolds and Ozuna. So I really like my outfield in particular, especially if the Pirates guys work, but Julio Bellinger and Joe Adele with the Pirates guys. And then my infield, it's all right. I'm glad that I went with Junior. I am glad I anchored that. And then we'll see about the rest of mine. This was a nice Nico Horner fall, getting him at 152. And that kind of helped solidify, I think, my infield because Nico Horner is not sexy or he's not an upside play, but he's a steady, consistent play. And then I got some nice picks here. So I think overall I've got a positive team, but it's not one of my favorites. So all right, let me quickly kind of check out some comments and we'll see. We'll see. All right. So, and we'll get started here in another one. So Michael says, only time I've taken Teoscar, only time I've had the number 1 pick. Gotcha. Just made sense. I get why a lot of people do it. Yeah, for sure. Dave says, Marcy was a last second pick. There was no good outfielders when I took Terrain. Anytime I went for an outfielder, there was none worth a damn at the spot. That's how I ended up there. I hear you. That's what happens when you don't take them at the top. Brad said, you don't need to do me. No big deal. It sucks. I basically drafted 16 people I never draft. I only went O'Neill for opening day, Dave said. I like your team plenty. Just need Pirates to be good. Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you, guys. Okay, now let's do a countdown. And everyone who's still here that wants to get another draft, let's cross our fingers and let's hope that we can get in this together. So the countdown in 3, 2, 1, enter. 5 more, 5 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. And Draft starts soon. Okay. All right. So let's see what picks we got. Okay, let me move this here and see who got what. All right. So I see we've got Bjorn in here. Nice to see you back in here, Bjorn Masterson. Glad you're here with us tonight. He got pick 2. Bobby Boucher. What's up, Bobby? Pick 4. Glad you got in this draft with us. I got 5. Dave's in again. Good to see you in here, Dave, with 8. Scratch 5, got 9. And Brad, not in this one. I don't know if you missed it or if you're just calling it for a night. Oh, skins over birds. What's up, buddy? And then if there's anyone else who's in the chat or here watching, let me know if you're in this, if you want me to do a review of your team or just say something, and I'll try and note that as we are going. Yeah, that was a quick draft, but glad to see. Oh, B. Jones, I'm in 12. All right. Let me go look what your handle is. It is Young Chuck. All right, Young Chuck. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you in here with us. I think this is the first time I've seen you in one of these streams with us, so very glad to have you. Okay, and we are off. Just like that, a new draft begins. Okay, so no surprise here with Otani going at the top. And I'm assuming that we'll just go with chalk here. I'm out, though. Probably best I missed it. Going to watch a night agent and go to bed. Nice. Thank you. Good to see you, Brad. Thanks for coming on and drafting with us tonight. And we'll see you next time. And I'm looking forward to your stream on Sunday. Brad and Jason draft a dinger Sunday on the Stacking Dingers channel. All right. There we go. I'm up. Acuna went at 4. And okay, do I stick with the plan of Schwarber or do I go Bobby Witt? Exposer, help me out. Help me out, Exposer tool. Okay, 10% Schwarber, 5% Bobby Witt. This is team number 94. I need to go Bobby Witt. I need to go Bobby Witt. I need to have more Bobby Witt in my life. But I love Schwarber. And I've been just taking Schwarber and not thinking twice. But let's get Bobby Witt in my life here. All right. Dave, coming to you here. So, Dave, just to keep in mind, you know, how much you hated outfield as we moved along the last one and this one. Let's see what you can do. Okay. So, scratch 5 after Dave. Skins over birds. Skins over birds. You in here with us tonight, buddy? Let me know if you're on here. I know that you've been here with us before. So, Dave grabbed him Tatis and then scratch 5 Julio. That was the right call, boys. Personally, I prefer those two over Corbin right now. Again, I will say this. I mean, I've not been drafting Corbin this whole time, and that could be wrong. Obviously, it could burn me. I'm at 2.6 Corbin Carroll, 11.5 Tatis, 7.7 Julio. Ellie going at pick 10. I saw Ellie homer today. Ellie and Eugenio going back to back. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that this year. Man, I'm trying to decide if I want to spend up what I want to do in this auction on Thursday. And earlier I was watching, or I was in with Matthew, and Ellie went for 33 in his auction. And man, if he goes for, I love that price. If I could get him for, I think, under 35, I might try to grab Ellie in a roto auction coming up here on Thursday. All right. Skins over birds went with Corbin. So he got him some Corbin, which at pick 11, I think is good. And then paired him with Rooker. Young Chuck, you went with Jose Ramirez and James Wood. I like that. Yep, skins over birds. What's up, buddy? You are in here. Glad to have you with us tonight. And Young Chuck, I like the Jose Ramirez, James Wood a lot. That's a very good combo in my estimation from a low-owned standpoint. Now, I think they're a good combo, period. But maybe I'm just speaking for myself because I have so low shares of those two guys in particular. But I feel like I don't see, and I mean, I do these so often, I don't feel like I see that particular combo from pick 12 maybe ever. And it's hard to come up with a combo of guys to do from pick 12 that isn't done by so many other people. I remember the first time that I saw Kurtz and Rooker go at the turn, and like, oh, there's something unique. And then it started happening a lot. And now that's kind of faded because Kurtz is kind of moving back towards the end of the second round after, you know, there are ebbs and flows in the draft season. All right, we're coming to my round 2. So speaking of Kurtz, he's there. Scooble, who I went last time, but I don't have an outfielder. I don't want to get too much further without one, and I'm going to grab Cheerio. So this, from an exposure standpoint, is a really good start from a anti-exposures build for me, because I had 7.7% Cheerio. So 5% Bobby, 7% Cheerio. I like that. And I don't feel like I have to stack Brewers or Royals whenever I do things like this, especially with guys I don't draft a lot. I sort of want to, specifically with stacking versus not stacking, this is just my personal advice to people. I don't know if anyone else agrees with this, but it's just the way I look at it is. So because I don't have very much Bobby Witt and Cheerio, I don't want to force stacking those guys with Royals and Brewers. If some fall, great, so be it. But a lot of teams draft and stack. So because I don't have a lot of them, I kind of want to mix in my other favorite plays along with these guys and sort of just try to draft the best team I can, which overall I think is the best way to draft, period, anyway. It's just stacking is just so much fun to do, especially when you're a high volume drafter and you're doing this all the time. All right, so Bjorn, he went with Scooble and PCA, and Bobby Boucher went with Wyatt Langford, moving up Wyatt Langford to pick 21. I see what you did there. So you've got Acuna and Wyatt, and then let's find out what you do here. Yeah, seeing how outfield is going, it's going to be interesting as we move along this next 30 days, the way that our draft boards change. But I like moving Wyatt up. And then Jackson Merrill, that's a move up. And then Bobby got Matt Olson. So now back to me. And I can still take Paul Skeens. I feel like I have to do this. Let me just review. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we're going to start with 1-1-1 and go with Skeens. That's got to be the latest that I've got Skeens. Let's go take a quick look here. Share this tab. Paul Skeens. Let's see. I didn't know if I could see specifically my high and low without clicking on it. I'm not seeing. I mean, I can hover over each one. Let's see. 16. Oh, I think I can just do it this way. Yeah. Pick number 27. Pick number 26. What pick did I just get him at? 29. Yeah, that is the lowest that I've got Skeens. All right. Nice. All right. And Dave, you definitely listened and you're doing it now. Tatis, Roman Anthony, and Jarren Duran. I actually didn't notice that you moved Roman Anthony up to 17, which I don't hate because you were able to pair it with Duran here. And I bet you were thinking that might be the plan and you accomplished it. So I like it. You're like, I'm not gonna have that bad of an outfield again. You definitely won't. I mean, that outfield is studly. And then Scratch 5 also has a super strong outfield. He paired Randy Arozarena with Yordan and Julio. Skins Over Birds grabbed him the fall of Lindor to go along with Carroll and Rooker. This is the anti-Ham8 team. And then added Taylor Ward. So I really like that start a lot. Carroll, Rooker, Ward with Lindor. Young Chuck, you've got you Jose, and then 3 straight outfields, James Wood, Seiya, and Soderstrom. All right, guys, we've got a really good start to this draft. All of us have some good builds starting off. And everyone in the chat here is going heavy outfield, and I'm sitting here just with Jackson Cheerio. So we'll see how this team turns out. Dave grabbed him Freddie Freeman. Beautiful, great pick, Dave. And now we're coming back to the middle of round 4 to my pick. Middle 4, pick 44. What to do? Okay, now I said a minute ago that I wasn't going to look to stack Cheerio and Witt with Royals and Brewers. But I'm sure you guys know the but that I'm about to say. Let me go back to ADP board. I got to find out what my shares are. I have 11% Yelich and I have 10% Ian Happ. So Bryce Harper, I have less of. Mookie Betts, I have less of. 8% Betts, 5% Harper. I know I said I wasn't going to try and stack, but I feel like this is just too good of an opportunity to pair Yelich here with him that I just can't pass pairing Yelich. I like Yelich. Again, 11% Yelich. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I will stack if it falls. I feel like that was a fall. I really just didn't feel like going with Bryce Harper or Mookie Betts there. Again, I was just talking about how everyone in this draft, we've all got good outfields, and I'm sitting here with one. And so I'm going to want to try to help increase my outfield here. But I got Bobby Witt and Paul Skeens. So honestly, I could go heavy outfield moving forward in the next few rounds. And I've still got anchored studs at the top with Skeens and Bobby. All right. So Bjorn went with Ian Happ. So Ian Happ pairs with Pete Crow. And then let's see what you do here coming back across. So there went Teoscar. So you see what I'm talking about, Scratch 5 with Teoscar going to the Shohei guy. That just happens so often. And see, Betts could have gone, but everyone wants to get the outfield. Get it. I completely get it. Bjorn getting Jazz. That's nice that it pairs with Judge. Bjorn, you've got a great start. Love the start to your team. Bobby Boucher, Profar. Profar pairs with Austin Riley, Acuna, and oh, good grief. Bobby Boucher, amazing. Amazing. And this is awesome for me. This is my boy. I think everyone in here has heard me talk about Buxton enough to know I love me some Buxton. Holy Braves build, Bobby. That's incredible. I don't think I've got all of them. Acuna, Olsen, Riley, and Profar. I mean, at this point, I honestly almost say you just go ahead and buy in and you grab Albies and Baldwin later too, and you've got all the main pieces. Because, you'll be able to get them much later and not have to spend up. All right. Dave went with Hunter Brown. Dave, love the start to this team, buddy. Love the start to this team. Scratch 5, Brian Wu. Woo, Brian Wu, and sticking with the Seattle theme. All right. Let's see after Rue Baudel. Rue Baudel, I've recognized this name from being in drafts before. I don't know if you're in the stream or on here with us. If you are, let me know. And I want to go back over and check the comments. Michael says, seems to happen 90% of the time unless Tucker teams take him. Bobby Boucher, Braves top 4. Let's go. Absolutely, bro. Let's go. I love that build. And there's no way you've got that very often. Whenever you get something that falls in your lap like this, I feel like you don't worry about the stack. You just take it. I'm going to go pull up Atlanta's roster real quick and see if there's anyone else other than Albies or Baldwin that I would look to add. I immediately before it loads, maybe Yaz at the end, because you could take him at the very end. Yastrzemski. Oh yeah, Michael Harris. I forgot about Michael Harris. That's it. I mean, honestly, you could have the whole freaking starting team other than Dubon or Mateo. Obviously, you're not going to draft them. All right, back to where we're at. So Skins Over Birds got him some Manny Machado. Then young Chuck with Gilbert and O'Neill Cruz. So we got a 114 and a 024. Now we're coming back to Scratch 5, who's at a 104. Let's see if you jump in with your first infield or if you go with outfield 5 or pitcher 2. Let's see what you're doing. Now, trying to get an idea for what I'm going to do here. I've got a 113. I definitely feel better about my outfield now. Getting those last 2. Josh Naylor. Oh, perfect. Perfect, Scratch 5. Love that Seattle thing you've got going there with Jordan and Bellinger and the rest of the Mariners. Man, that's really nice. Where did Cal go? Cal went to pick 1 at the turn with Raleigh and Pete Alonso. I've done that before. I've done that exact thing. Raleigh and Pete Alonso. That's called the big time power stack with Ohtani for sure. Okay. Now we're coming back to me. Dave grabbed him Hunter Green. I like how you go with the double Hunters. I love going Hunter Brown and Hunter Green. Double Hunters of different colors. And I'm not talking about black and white. I'm talking about brown and green. Okay. And then now back to me. You know what? This could be a time I add Perdomo, who I don't get hardly ever. Yeah. Yeah, this could be a Perdomo. Why not? Let's do Perdomo. Let's do Perdomo. I am very low. Let me go see how low. How low can you go? 2.7% Perdomo. I knew I wanted to have a little bit more of him. Not looking to get Perdomo higher than a 3 or 4% share guy, though. I just don't believe in the rise of his spot that much. But I recognize how good he was and can be again in his everyday at bats. So I recognize the pick. All right. And then now Bobby got him Dylan Cease. I thought about Cease, Bobby. That was what I was considering there. And then Bjorn grabbed in Stowers. That's the other one. So you two, Bobby and Bjorn, you grabbed the two guys that I would have taken had I not taken Perdomo, Cease or Stowers. And then now we will wrap back around. Our Houston 13 grabbed Willie Adames. And Bjorn, back to you, buddy. Chris Sale, love it. Another one of my boys, one of my highest drafted pitchers, period. Chris Sale, I'm rocking a cool 24.6% in the dinger. Nope, that's in the overall. Oh, I was looking at overall. Geraldo Perdomo's 1.3% in the dinger, even less. And Chris Sale, 26.9. Okay. I got to grab Vinny P here, right? I was just talking about not overstacking. I could go Freddie P. Vinny P or Freddie P? Vinny P or Freddie P? Let's go Vinny P. That makes me kind of wish that I would have gone with Stowers or Cease since Vinny P fell. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, we'll mix in the rare Perdomo and make it work. All right. And Bobby Boucher, I see that you chose Joe Adell over Michael Harris. Yeah, I just did that last draft. Now, maybe you should have done it just and said, screw it, going all in on the Braves. But honestly, I think Joe Adell is the better pick. I really do. I like him more. Which is crazy if you've been following Joe Adell's career for me to say that going into this year. I mean, literally, there's not hardly anyone who was more of a prospect disappointment for multiple years than Joe Adell until last year. But I believe in him. Man, CAG's up to 82. He just keep moving up and up. Son of a man, I'm glad that I got the picks that I got. But I was really hoping he would fall to 92, and I would get him on this one. Thanks a lot, Rube Waddell. That is an old-timey name if I've ever heard one. Feel like Rube Waddell is from 1925 pushing a wheel with a stick. Skins over birds, grab my boy Jacob Marcy. I love that. Young Chuck, Corey Seager, and DeGrom, double Rangers. Very nice. And at this point, I really like the taking on the risk of those guys because it's not huge risk. And it's your infield 2 and pitcher 2 instead of 1. Either of them as your 1 feels a little risky to me, but as your 2, I like to assume that risk. All right, skins over birds. Who are you going to add with Marcy? You going to take your first pitcher or go back to infield or be done at outfield? Take your first pitcher, Max Fried. Good pick. Good pick. I like Max Fried. And that was a good fall for him, I feel like, without looking at what his ADP was. All right, and then Rube grabbed him Michael Harris. Elliot Ramos to scratch 5, and Dave with Fromber. Dave took Bregman last time and scratch 5 Freddie P. You guys are drafting some really good teams. Dave, I love the build that you're working with, bud. Now, don't forget outfield. Even though you started these top 3, don't let it get away. Don't let it get away. Steve Kwan. All right, back to me. Okay. Now, I don't like Strider. I don't like Andy Pages. Man, I really wish I would not have taken Geraldo Perdomo. Right now, my biggest regret of this draft is going with the anti what I normally do with Perdomo, because I just grabbed Wilson Contreras. Now I have 4 infields. I really wish that this was Kyle Stowers or Dylan Cease. I screwed that one up. Oh, well, it is what it is. Live and learn. They're not all perfect. This is why I don't draft Perdomo very often. He throws off my feng shui. All right. Bjorn grabbed him some Andy Pages. He's not afraid. And that's his 5th outfield, too. So there's not a lot of risk. You've already got an incredibly strong outfield. And there went Adolis. Man, it is what it is. It is what it is. This is what happens. All right, now we're curling back around. Man. Outfield is as gross as it can be, isn't it, boys? Man, I wish I would have taken Stowers. Son of a. Because what I want to do now. I'm sure you guys know what I want to do now. If he makes it. 2 picks away. Because if he does make it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it and just take it. It is what it is. It's just how this team is going to be built. Bobby Boucher, save me. Nope, you didn't. You grabbed Strider. All right, I'm doing it. Gosh dang it. One of these things is not like the other with Perdomo. 153. I hate that start that I'm doing, guys. I hate the build start that I'm doing. I like the players just fine. I hate the actual build type. I regret this Perdomo pick so much now. It's okay, though. Sometimes being uncomfortable is fun in the sense that it mixes things up and makes me do something that I'm not used to. There went Trent Grisham. All right. Dave, coming to you, brother. Coming to you. So, I mean, yeah, we're all at the point where we can do anything. I know none of us really have to reach on any position. Skins over Birds got his first pitcher. Dave just went ahead and grabbed Terang. Terang versus Mikhail Garcia. Anyone in the comments got anything? Oh, you know what? See, I forgot to put the comments back up. See, I take it off to do the team review. It's hard to remember. Let me look at the comments real quick here. Michael says Suarez pick hurt. Yeah. Just went with the better player. I don't know. If Harris makes it back, no way, right? Yeah, I agree, though. I agree with you on that. I think Adele is the better player, or at least on here. I can argue that Michael Harris is better for other formats, of course. Feeling a 7-6-7 for yourself, maybe an extra outfield, 100% Bjorn. I could not agree with you more. I'm glad you said that to put it in my mind. This is literally the perfect team with what I'm putting together to do a 7-6-7 build. You were right. Terang in the 4th, got him in the 9th. Yep. Okay. Now, we had a little pitcher run. Young Chuck went with McLean, Pavetta, Skins over Birds, grabbed Bradish, Rube Waddell, Gossman. Scratch 5 had got Mackenzie Gore, and now Chase Burns. Dave, let's see what you do here. You've got a 3-3-3, so you can go literally any direction that you want. Grabbed my boy Yuri. Love that pick. Now I'm 2 away. Joe Ryan's still there, guys. I mean, this is kind of an interesting fall here. About 15 picks past his ADP. And of course, Rube Waddell took Dalton Varsho. I just noticed that. Son of a. Another one of my outfield picks gone. That's okay. I think this is either a Joe Ryan or Mizorowski. You know what? Brewers. I don't ever have Mizorowski. Take Mizorowski. Let's go. This is a Miz team. Did any of you guys see that video today? I know certainly most of you probably did. If you didn't, is that real? That had to be real, right? But it's the video of him literally throwing like 100-mile-an-hour fastball, knocking an apple off of a dude's head. Let me see here. He's hurt. Yeah, no, I know that Ryan's hurt, but this was a good fall because he could be back. Um, Junior Aspie, that's the highest I've seen Connor drafted twice today, and he went before 130. Oh, did Connor just go? Where did Connor go? I missed Connor. Where are you at? There he is. Connor went at 107. Well, Junior underscore SB. I just grabbed Connor Griffin the draft before this at 104. So I beat it by a little. But I was talking about it just to tell. So Dave says, no way that was real. Their coach had some huge waffles. Yeah. No, I know. Crazy. I went with Connor Griffin because I had taken O'Neal Cruz and Brian Reynolds, which I don't hardly ever do. I only had 5% of them in the dinger, and this is my 93rd team. And I had 1% Connor Griffin. I'd only taken him 2 or 3 times. I had done it on streams. I pretty much have stayed away, and I've talked about missing on the value of getting him later, but I've just been missing. I've just been not doing it. And so this particular time, I was like, we're just doing it. And I didn't know how high is too high. I don't know that, and we talk about this. I don't know that there is an answer to that if he's going to be up. Okay. I'm considering taking Sedane Rafaela here, who I don't think I've drafted him once, though. I'm definitely going outfield, boys. Definitely going outfield. I think I'm just going to go Brenton Doyle. Let me go look at the exposures. Doyle, 10%. Rafaela, 0. Yeah, I literally have no dinger Rafaela. I'm going to keep that streak going and go with Doyle. It also opens up some Rockies stack pieces later with Doyle, and I just think Doyle's better. Now, again, this is for this format. I actually really like Rafaela for like NFBC. Roto, where you get the dual eligibility of second and outfield, and you get that combo of like 2020. I will take Rafaela over there. I don't know why. I just don't like taking him here on Underdog. I don't have a hugely great answer to that. I just don't think that he's a big underdog player, point scorer, driving factor. I mean, you look at the overall 1030 and 1124 each of the last 2 seasons from an overall perspective, but I don't think about people from an overall perspective as far as how many points they scored in the season. I think of what impact are they going to have to me. I hope to be able to articulate this better next year after really having a season of studying Underdog and points like I'm going to do this year. We will see. We will see. I could be way wrong on some of these people that I'm not drafting. Time will tell. But yeah, that video with Mizorowski was crazy, wasn't it? Oh yeah, I was going to look up my Miz shares. Mizorowski, 1.3%. So yeah, I remember when I did my 50 shares review, I had no Mizorowski, and I was like, I need to start taking some more of him. Well, now I'm almost to the end of my second 50, and I've only done it 2 or 3 times, I guess. So, but at least I've done it a few times. And this makes sense too. I mean, I have it's kind of a Brewers thing. I love how I talked about not stacking, and literally I've been stacking. It is what it is. It's how these go. All right, back to some of these picks. So Dave grabbed Ozuna. Love that. Good job. 4-3-4 start. Scratch 5-5-1-5 start. I love the Luis Castillo. Ooh, I really like the 5-1-5 start. That's one of my favorite starts, to be honest with you. I do that a lot off stream whenever I'm just sitting drafting. Skins over Birds with a 2-4-5. Murakami and Michael King. Young Chuck, Wilyer Abreu, and Trevor Story. I love this combo. Big fan of these Boston guys. I love Wilyer Abreu this year. And then Story, he's kind of like Buxton. I have a hard time ever quitting him. Same with Royce Lewis. I just can't quit taking him. And then Hunter Goodman. So there goes that potential. That's okay, though, because I wasn't going to look at taking a Rockies stack piece infielder because I am going to roll with Bjorn's suggestion, which I completely agree with, of a 7-6-7 build for me, which is against my norm. I normally go 7-7-6. That's my vast majority of the time build. I'll show you guys just how much in a second. Rafaela, he almost made it. I almost got the big Rafaela fall. And Bobby Boucher, Ozzy Albies almost made it to you. I would have definitely let him fall to you. Okay, so I only have 2 pitchers, 4 outfielders. I'm going pitcher or outfield. Jung-Hoo Lee, I take quite a bit. Robbie Ray, I don't take very often. I could go with the Blake Snell fall. I'm going to go with Robbie Ray, who I don't take very often. So let's go check that now. Robbie Ray, I'll share this with you guys. 6.4%. And Snell, not Snelling, Blake Snell, 9%. So yeah, I'm glad I went with Robbie Ray over Blake Snell, especially with Blake Snell's being banged up. And then who was I looking at? Jung-Hoo Lee, 16%. Yeah, I do that a lot. And then Cory Carpenter, 7%. Okay, now this is what I was going to show you guys with my builds. So in the dinger specifically, so I mean, you can see my overall too, which overall, I mean, look at that, 239 out of 366 total teams are 7-7-6. But specifically in the dinger, out of my 92 completed prior to this, 53. So that's about 60%. That's approximately 60% of the time I'm taking 7-7-6. And I like the 6-7-7. These are whenever I have 6 really good pitchers. But I've been trying to get more and talked about on the streams about getting more 7-6-7. I want to be in that boat more often. I feel like my gap between 7-7-6 and 7-6-7 should be closer. The reason why is because I just love so many infields late. I mean, as I've talked about time and time again, there are so many infields. Guys, look at my top stacks. Look at all these Blue Jays stacks here. It's crazy how high I am drafting the Blue Jays. Okay, back to our draft. So Bobby just grabbed him Colton Montgomery. Bjorn grabbed Bubba Chandler and Jack Flaherty. So it's back to me. No other outfield is gone. I could still take Jung-Hoo Lee or Cory Carpenter. From when I just looked, I have less Cory Carpenter and more Jung-Hoo Lee. Jung-Hoo Lee's going to play more than Cory Carpenter. Neither of them are stack pieces. I'm going to go stack piece and go opposite of both of them and go Sal Frelick. Screw it. Let me go see Sal Frelick. Change that back to dinger. 6.4%. Was that less than Cory Carpenter? I think it was. 7.7. Yep, I made the right choice. Not only from a stack perspective, but from a percent of the time drafted perspective. Because I like Sal Frelick. Oh, speaking of videos, Brewers videos. Did you guys see that Sal Frelick video? The Grand Theft Auto video that the Brewers put out. It was so good. So funny. And then Michael says, wanted Pena to go with Alvarez. This is why I just keep pushing infield. I hear you, bro. I hear you. And I do like Jeremy Pena a lot. Let me go back here. Dave grabbed him Edward Cabrera. That's another one of my boys. Great pick, Dave. Oh, and Wilson Contreras. Dave, you're doing really good. Just don't forget outfield. Your outfield's really good. Your 4 are good, but just don't let it get away with Jordan Walker. I'm just joking. I know you're going to take Jordan Walker. Okay, skins over birds. Let's see what you do here. His last 2 picks were Murakami and Michael King. I talked about that already. And Okamoto. Love it, bro. Love it. Definitely big on Murakami and Okamoto. Last draft, I was talking about how Okamoto has been shooting up in value. Young Chuck Jackson Holiday. Good fall on Jackson Holiday and Trevor Rogers. I love Trevor Rogers. It's probably way too much. I was such a big fan of his whenever he came up with the Marlins back in, I think, 21 or 22. I'm in a dynasty league that Corey was talking about earlier, and I had grabbed him in that dynasty draft his rookie year, and that was all because I watched him pitch a spring training game where he had 10 strikeouts, and I was just like, holy crap, who's this Trevor Rogers guy? And then he was crap for a few years, but I was so glad seeing him reemerge. and he looked really good in his first spring training start. I watched that the other day. That was on, what's that? What the heck is today? That was on Sunday, I believe. All right. So we nice little run of pitchers here. Aaron Nola to Skins Over Birds. Tyler Glass now to Scratch 5. Dave, you grabbed Salvi from me. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know when I'm going to take my final infield, but it probably wasn't going to be right now. So I am glad that you just went ahead and spared me that chance and went ahead and grabbed Salvi. Okay. Now, I know I'm going outfield pitcher. So let's see who he gives me. He went Lodolo. I took Lodolo with the last draft. I could take Zach Gallen, but I'm not. I'm going to grab a guy who I also love drafting, an oldie but goodie, and Mr. Mike, the artist formerly known as Mike Stanton. Bobby Boucher grabs Zach Gallen. Let's go check out Stanton. Why don't we? 11.5%. Look at this EMI, guys. I told you I was big on EMI. 25.6%. Son of a... I should probably bring that down. Bjorn grabbed him. Emmett Sheehan. I like grabbing Emmett Sheehan. I've talked about needing to mix in more of him. He is a great value. I was with Brock the other night. We were talking about Emmett Sheehan might be the biggest value from NFBC over to Underdog of anyone. And you did spend up a little bit here to grab him because he goes much later than that in a lot of these, but still, I like it because he's worth it here, obviously. Now, as we come back around, let's see what Bjorn does with this one. You going back to infield? You've got, with Simeon. Say with that start. Now, Bobby Boucher, you're going to go infield and go with the 5-5-5, go pitcher and go with the 6-4-5. I don't really see any pitchers jump out that you might take. I have 3 pitchers, so I feel like I should, but I'm going to take 7. Drake Baldwin, I'm glad that's a good pick. Shane Baz was one on my list. Okay, so this is easy for me. Shoto Omoniga. Come on down. You're the next contestant on my crappy pitching staff. Anchored by Paul Skeens, but Mizorowski, Robbie Ray, and Omoniga. Guys, this is going to be my least favorite pitch staff that I've drafted on this stream, period. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, Dave. Let's see what you do here, buddy. Let's see. Man, Nico's fallen. Why is Nico falling so much? He fell in the last one. What's the deal? I'm Googling Nico. Why is he falling in these back-to-back drafts so late? Is there some news about him today that I did not see? Here's 10 hours ago. Red Sox predicted a trade for Cubs 2-time Gold Glove infielder. No, I don't see any news about him being hurt. Nothing. I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts for me as to why we're seeing him fall so much? Bjorn says 24 pick drop for Simeon. I'll gobble up a 2-round drop for 90% of the field. I'd say absolutely. And I love me some Simeon. They're talking about him not being full-time. Horner? Who's they? Who's saying he wouldn't be full-time? He's going to be full-time for sure, in my opinion. My opinion, at least. He's too darn good. Multi-time Gold Glove winner, 300 hitter, speedster. He's just a ball player. I hope he does get traded. Get him off the Cubs. He needs to be on a better team than the Cubs. Sirius XM baseball show earlier. I think they're seriously dumb, Dave. No, honestly, I have no idea. I've been shocked by this fall. Skins Over Birds went ahead and grabbed him. That's I thought I got a good fall last draft. This was like a 50 pick fall. Crazy. All right. And then Dave, nice pick with Brendan Donovan. So you pushed the outfield. So you have went ahead. I mean, you went with the heavy 3 at the top, Dave. Oh, guys, Jack Leiter, my boy, the pick before. Oh, dang it. I was sitting back like all ready to grab Jack Leiter. That was going to make me feel so much better about this team. Ah. Oh, dang it. Garrett Cole again. Son of a. Oh, man, that one stung. Every once in a while, it gets you. Getting sniped like that. That just got me. Oh, man. Dave says, check your phone. You just text me? Oh, who you're looking at. Yep, gotcha. All right. Oh, man, that got me on tilt, boys. Then Drew Rasmussen. That's another one on my list. I should have just taken him over Cole. At least Drew Rasmussen's going to pitch. Oh, well. Oh, well. They're not all going to be winners. You guys definitely have outdrafted me on that. I love the start to this team, too. Where did it fall apart? It fell apart with Perdomo. Gosh dang it, Perdomo. If I'd have gone Cease or Stowers, I'd have felt so much better about my team, and it would have changed the picks. Oh, well. Oh, well. It is what it is. All right. Shane Smith and Matthew Boyd just went. Good picks. Bjorn, back to you. Matt Wallner and Will Smith. I like both of those picks. Bobby Boucher, you know I love me some Addison Barger. Let's see who you pair with that. At this point, I am giving strong consideration to sticking with my 6 outfield and doing an 8-6-6. What's my exposures again? Let's go double check this. Dinger, 8-6-6. I've done it 5 times. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't even add up. Why does it say 7-6-6-1? Obviously, that's got to be wrong. Okay, I'm back up. Shane McClanahan. Thanks, Bobby. Thank you. All right. Cade Horton or Chris Bubick? Cade Horton, Chris Bubick. I feel like I have less Horton. Let's go find out if I was right. Let's go find out. Dinger. Horton. 10%. Nah, I probably have more Horton. Bubick. 7.7. Yep, I actually had more Horton than Bubick. Very surprised about that. I thought I had more Bubick. I feel like I was just drafting Bubick more early. And then Chris Bassett went after my Cade Horton. Scratch 5 Paredes. Dave, there you got your Jordan Walker. You got it. Skins over birds with a 5.65. You can do whatever you want here. Probably not infield, I'm assuming. You probably go pitcher or outfield. Probably go pitcher or outfield. You show us. Polanco. Infield said, nope, going infield, getting it done. I like Jorge Polanco a lot, but skins over birds. Couldn't you have waited on that pick and got Polanco in like this pick right here at 227? I don't know, just a thought. But I like Polanco. Is that like a big part of a Mets thing or no? I think you're just you have Lindor. I think you're just thinking because you have Connor Griffin, you went with the Japanese guys trying to solidify your infield a little more. But honestly, I think you'd already done that with Horner and Manny. Yeah, I personally, I'm not against Polanco. Oh, and you grab Grayson. Gosh dang it. You guys are killing me. Senga, Bubick, Braxton Ashcraft. Killing me. I'm proud of y'all, though. These are all great picks. Great picks. Oh, man. This is a rough one for me. Dave, what you doing? What you doing? Now, I was drafting Merrill Kelly, but that's out the window now. That's gone. All right. I've got someone starred for next round. Who do I want for this round? I guess I could just be done at infield. Oh yeah. Yeah. So this pairs, right? Yeah, Doyle. I have Doyle. Oh, Doyle rules. Yep. Let's go ahead and grab Tovar. This is a good Tovar fall. And now I'm done at infield. So now I just have to decide, do I want to go back-to-back pitcher? I think I'm going to, guys. I think that my outfield with Churio, Yelich, Buxton, Doyle, Frelick, and Stanton, I'm just going to roll with it and hope that it's good enough and not take a seventh and just add two more pitchers and just take some upside on pitchers and throw some darts at a wall and hope something sticks. Bryce Miller and Brady Singer were two of the guys. So there goes Royce Lewis, my boy. It's okay. I was done at infield. I'm glad you got him, Bjorn. Love me some Royce Lewis. Another guy who will never quit. Let me make sure, see if I've missed any comments here. Dave says that there's nothing. I was going to take Moniak. Phone froze. Gotcha. All right. Back to the board here. Quinn Priester. That's Matthews' guy. Sheep's guy. Priester. Andrew Abbott. Another one. Oh, boy. Guys, this is rough. This is rough. I'm definitely going 8 pitchers. It's the only chance that I think this team has. This team probably just doesn't have a chance. There's too many other good teams in this league for this team to finish 1 or 2, I think. But if my team is going to finish 1 or 2, it's got to be because Cole hits, and I've got to get lucky with these last 2 pitchers I'm about to take. At least I have Skeens. Thank God I have Skeens to anchor with a stud at the top. Bubba and the Bloom live. Pockets of ADP. All right, Bubba and the Bloom just gone live. Any of you guys want to jump over there and watch those boys whenever we are done drafting here real soon? But I am going to do a team review. Okay, so Roki Sasaki, Joe Musgrove, Reed Detmers, top pitchers that I want and I have taken. I've been wanting to get more Reed Detmers in my life. He was bad in his first spring start, but he looked so awesome last year, and I want to take some chances in case he's a breakout pitcher. So let's throw Detmers in there, and then we're going upside. We're going upside, breakout upside here. So oh my gosh, as I'm scrolling through names, guys, Aaron Sanchez is beneath Shane Bieber, above Casey Mize. Aaron Sanchez. Why is his name there? And how many of you guys that are drafting even know who Aaron Sanchez is? I know Dave does. I know a few of you guys do. But Aaron Sanchez hasn't pitched in like 5 years or something. I'm going to look him up real quick. If you don't know who Aaron Sanchez is, let me share. He was a Blue Jays prospect pitcher who first round pick in 2010, never really turned out. Yeah, well, he was an all-star in 2016. Yeah, he's not played since 2022, yet somehow his name is sandwiched between Shane Bieber and Casey Mize. How does that make any sense? Don't ask me. I'm going down here. I kind of want to say some of these names, but I'm not going to. I don't want to say. I was happy to say Aaron Sanchez because that one baffled me. You know what? I need to take some of these later pitchers anyway. I'm going to look at this as a positive thing and not a negative. Dave grabbed him Burleson. No shocker there, but it is a good pick. Oh, Dave Santander, brother. Did you get autoed on that one? Santander he's supposed to be out all year, right? Hold on. All right. This is literally just Google. Let's see what the Google AA overview says. Underwent season-threatening labrum surgery in February. Specimen is 5 to 6 months. So maybe you get him back for the playoffs. But Dave, if I can make a suggestion for you, definitely take another outfielder here and do a 6-7-7 because that Santander pick's probably going to be wasted. And don't ruin this great early outfield that you went with. So my suggestion is take another outfield instead of pitcher, Dave, with this pick. Rube Waddell grabbed Carter Jensen. Love it. Skins over Birds, Austin Hayes, and Dollander. Dollander is now on my radar. I don't know if you took him. Someone drafted him the other day, and Brock pointed out how good he was away from Colorado. And I watched a video of him pitching earlier, just dotting 99 on the corner. So yeah, I think Dollander is a good, interesting pick. Young Chuck with Parker Messick and Bryce Eldridge. Dave going with another injured outfielder. Lourdes, let's see what Lourdes. Let's see the Lourdes. He should be back, though. And at least, and is pushing me ready for open day. Although the team is cautiously managed to return, which initial time is summer. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he's probably, so my initial guess, just seeing this, probably I'd count him out the first 2 months. But your team should be able to get by, Dave. I think you can. But I think Santander, I would never take him again. I think he's going to be wasted this year. But who knows? Maybe your team's good enough, he makes it, and maybe he helps you in the playoffs. And all of a sudden, no one else has him. Okay, guys. Andrew Painter, young, or Justin Verlander, old? Verlander or Painter? Verlander or Painter? Verlander or Painter? Cory was saying it earlier. I like old guys. Verlander it is. I think this got to be my first Verlander. Yep. First dinger, Verlander. Welcome home. Welcome home, Verlander. I feel a little better now, but I know my team is just a crapshoot. But I do feel a little better now with Detmers and Verlander. Okay. Bobby Boucher grabbed him some Miguel Vargas and Jorge Soler with his last two, both great picks. Let's see what Bobby Boucher does, and then we'll do a team review for Bjorn, Bobby Boucher, Dave, Scratch 5, and Skins Over Birds, and Young Chuck. If there's anyone else that's in here, I think that's all, you guys. If I missed anyone, let me know. Bjorn went with Noah Cameron. All right, let me jump back over here to the comments. Skins Over Bird says, thought about an 8-6-6, but don't typically do that with Griffin. Yeah, for sure. This is a typical draft for me. Heavy outfield, early pitching for Michael, a lot of infield options so you can play with stacks late. Yeah, phone froze, Dave said. Didn't know. I did not know he was hurt. Lourdes, I'm assuming you meant there. You probably meant the phone froze with Santander, and then you're talking about Lourdes with the other one. Okay. Well, guys, let's go ahead and review our teams. I'm going to remove the comments, go back over here, and we'll start with Bjorn. All right, Aaron, let's see what you got, buddy. Okay, so Scooble, Sale, Gavin Williams, Bubba Chandler, Flaherty, Emmett Sheehan, Noah Cameron. I haven't drafted Noah Cameron yet. I think that's an interesting final throw in there, but I really like your pitchers. So you got the anchors at the top. Scooble, Sale. I mean, you are locked and loaded anchor there. I think Gavin Williams is a very good, solid innings pick with some upside. I was very impressed by him last year. Bubba, again, I love Bubba. I'll take the Bubba risk all day long. Jack Flaherty, locked and loaded veteran, solid innings, and then another upside with Emmett Sheehan, and close out with late upside of Noah Cameron. Very good pitching staff. And then Jazz, Bush, Langoliers, Simeon, Will Smith, Royce Lewis, Berger. Dude, infield's awesome. Aaron Judge, Pete Crow Armstrong, Ian Happ, Kyle Stowers, Andy Pages, Matt Wallner. Outfield is good. So obviously you've got Judge, and that helps you out a ton because Judge is going to give you so many points guaranteed almost every week. But Pete Crow, Ian Happ, Stowers are good. Andy Pages, Wallner. Again, I'm not a Pajes guy, but I think he could end up being fine. So overall, love this build. Really good team, Bjorn. Great job. Bobby Boucher, 776. Dylan Cease, Spencer Strider. You know my thoughts here. Trey Savage. We were just talking about the potential innings cut, but I still love you, Savage. Ryan Peapot, Zach Gallen, McClanahan, Brady Singer. So you got Pepio and McClanahan both for the Rays. This is a risky pitching staff, but it's one that if it works, it could work big. You've got veteran innings guys. This is a good, solid young guy, but good innings play. Still some untapped ceiling with Pepio. God, who knows about Strider, right? Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? Well, I can't wait to see how spring continues to develop. Love the Cease. Gosh, I wish this was on my team, but it is what it is. He was meant to be on your team. And then the Braves Mondo stack that could have added Michael Harris, but you got Joe Adell and Soler. So infield, Olson, Riley, C.J. Abrams, Colson Montgomery, Drake Baldwin, Addison Barger, Miguel Vargas. Love Olson and Riley. I think Abrams is a good, like weekly floor piece to go along with Olson and Riley's ceiling. Obviously, Montgomery's going to be a spike week guy. We'll see. I've not been drafting a lot of him. We'll see. But man, led the American League in homers in the second half, something like that, the final 2 months. If not, he was close to it. Close to Judge and Raleigh in August and September. Drake Baldwin, great pick. Barger, in my estimation, great pick. And all of the worry about Barger being a platoon guy is starting to fade more and more, isn't it, guys? It's looking like he's going to play more against lefties. That makes me feel very nice. Acuna, Wyatt Langford, Profar, Joe Adell, Dalen Lyles, Soler. I love your outfield. I have no notes. They're all awesome. Overall, Bobby, great team. I think your pitching staff is upside. It's risky. Like, obviously, if this team doesn't work, it's probably going to be because of the pitching staff. Next up, Dave. Dave, you went with the 6-7-7. Glad you did that. Obviously, I can go ahead and say, when we were saying live, I don't love these final three outfielders. It's why I was kind of cautioning you earlier about your outfield, because I love your top four. Love the top four. This is the first time I've seen you go with three outfield to start. Very nice. I'm big on Ozuna now. You did spend up to get him. That's fine. You needed to, where the way outfield was going in this draft. I'm good with Jordan there. That's fine. But Santander and Gurriel, they won't be on any of my teams, especially together. But hopefully Gurriel will come back sooner rather than later. And in the meantime, these top four can get you by. And hopefully they're just good enough that you don't need these bottom three. And Jordan can just be an upside play. Your infield, really nice. Really nice. I knew I liked the rest of your team. Freddie, Bregman, Terang, Wilson Contreras, Salvi, Donovan, and Burleson. Really, really good infield. I feel like this is a completely floor infield. Like, you've got, of course, some spike weeks. We know that these guys can have spike weeks, but I feel like consistently week to week, this whole entire infield is going to be good. So very much like that infield. And your pitching staff, big fan. I was mentioned earlier to Cory, other than maybe Mitch Keller, I don't really like taking Mitch Keller. I know I've seen you take him before. I'm not anti-Mitch Keller, although I guess maybe I am because I'm not drafting him. But I don't know. Overall, though, love your pitching staff. I think your top five are great. These are all awesome picks. Love the double hunters and Yuri Cabrera. So good draft, Dave. You're getting there, buddy. Couple more and you're going to be a pro. All right. Next up, scratch 5, 776. Woo, Freddie P, McKenzie, Chase Burns, Luis Castillo, Glasnow, Senga. Very good pitching staff. I really like the mixture of solidity and upside with assuming some injury risk and some bounce back. You've got the one rookie, that breakout pick. I'm big on Freddie P and Woo. Those are like quality start machines. I think Mackenzie Gore, I've been in on him ever since he went to Texas. I wasn't drafting him before in Washington. I already know you've got the Seattle thing. Naylor, Goodman, Christian Walker, JJ, Herrera, Paredes, Yiner. Oh, man. Oh, I love what you did here, bro. Julio, Jordan, Randy, Bellinger, Ramos, Yaz. Dude, great draft. Really, really big fan of this team. If I was to criticize it all, I mean, obviously, Yaz is what he is. He doesn't really fit as any other part, but I like this. I think that's a good pick. You have 6 outfield, right? Yeah. I guess that's the only thing was maybe I would say Yaz if you as a 7th outfield, but honestly, no, I'm good with him as your 6th because your 5 are so good, especially your top 4. And then I love this late Houston thing you did here with Jordan and then getting these Houston guys. The only one, I guess, I've not taken Yiner, but honestly, I think that's a pretty good pick because I like Yiner, and I've not really thought about taking him here. See, JJ went at 177, so JJ's both of these draft. JJ was in like the 170 range, so JJ's getting moved up. I'm seeing that happening in real time as we can see his ADP here, and then I think everyone is on board with Ivan Herrera, which has been like my highest drafted guy this whole entire winter. I love Ivan Herrera. Skins Over Birds, 776. Max Fried, Kyle Bradish, Michael King, Aaron Nola, Soriano, Grayson, Dollander. This is a good pitching staff, bro. So I like how you went with the risk at the end here. I don't love Jose Soriano. I'll be honest, but Grayson and Dollander, I'm a big fan of those picks, those upside picks. And then it pairs really well with these top 4. So I guess that other than Jose, I'm just not drafting Jose. I just don't believe in Jose, but I could be wrong. I mean, I've liked Jose. Last year, I was just overall disappointed by it, but he stayed healthy and he pitched a full season. And that says something right there. And I mean, when you've got the type of stuff he does, that he could still get better. So great pitching staff. Well, good pitching staff, above average. Lindor, Machado, Connor Griffin, Murakami, Akamoto, Nico Horner, Jorge Polanco. Love it. Love it. And especially with getting these 3, Connor, Murakami, and Akamoto, all 3 the guys that I was saying who could shoot up even more than what you're taking them at. But you did it with Lindor and Machado at the top. And then you got the crazy value of Nico Horner, which is perfect for this team after these 3 here. And then Polanco, which I said is really good. I just think you could have waited and got him later, but you locked it up. And you got Austin Hayes at the end. And I think that's a sneaky good play. Hayes and Benintendi, I'm into both of them as final outfield plays. Although I think Hayes probably has a bigger upside than Benintendi. Corbin Carroll, Brent Rooker, Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Jacob Marcy. Yeah, great outfield too. Obviously, there's the Corbin Carroll quote-unquote injury risk, but whatever. I'm not that worried about it at pick 11. And you got Rooker, Taylor Ward. Trout can get you by. If Corbin is out, it's going to be, 2 weeks maybe. So you should be good. And I love Marcy. Like I said, I like the Austin Hayes. Really good team. Good draft. Skins Over Birds. Young Chuck, let's see what you did. Young Chuck, remind me what your name is. Tell me in the chat real quick. Remind me what your name is. I'll go back over there and double check it in a second. Logan Gilbert, Jacob DeGrom, Nolan McLean, Nick Pivetta, Trevor Rogers, Braxton Ashcraft, Parker Messick. Another pitching staff that I love. This is why I knew you guys were drafting such better pitching staffs than me in this league. Gilbert, DeGrom, Nolan McLean, you are speaking to my language with these 3 guys, buddy. Pivetta, I've not drafted a ton, but I'm anti-Pivetta. Trevor Rogers, I talked about how much I like him. I think I'm been into Braxton Ashcraft this whole time, ever since beginning of November. Parker Messick, I've drafted him. I drafted him on a stream, and I think it's the only time I've drafted him. He's interesting though. He's a crafty lefty guy. We'll see. I've not obviously done it other than the once or twice, but I think that's an interesting one. Jose Ramirez, Corey Seager, Trevor Story, Jackson Holiday, Manzardo, Brandon Lau, Bryce Eldridge, with James Wood, Seiya, Soderstrom, O'Neill Cruz, Wilyer Abreu, Chase DeLauder. This infield's incredible. And I really like this Cleveland stack that you did with Chase and with Manzardo and with Jose. This is going to be one that I'm also fascinated by this year. I've only done it. I did it on back-to-back streams one night, and I think they're my only 2 shares in the Dinger. I love Wilyer Abreu. I really love this outfield. I really love this outfield. I love the upside you swung with here. And I talked about how you went with the uniqueness at the 1-2 turn with Jose and with Wood. Say is a great solid pick with good upside. And then you got the Bryce Eldridge pick. Bro, great draft. Getting the fall of Holiday. Overall, really, really good team. So, Young Chuck, let me go back over here to the comments real quick. What's your name, Young Chuck? Young Chuck. I see B Jones 9668. Sorry, my names are mismatched. Is that you? Is that you, bud? B Jones? Are you Young Chuck? I bet so. I bet so. I could go back to earlier in the chat where you said, "Hey, I'm Young Chuck at pick 12." I bet B Jones. I bet that's you. Bones Jones. I said B Jones. Bones Jones. Okay, and then I guess we can go back and look at my team real quick. See what sort of disaster I put together. This. Make sure anyone, if you're in this and I didn't call out your team, let me know. So Skeens, one of my incredibly rare Mizorowski, throwing apples off people's, or throwing balls at people's heads, knocking apples off. Robbie Ray, Shota, Garrett Cole. You know, if he does hit when he comes back, that could unlock this pitching staff, honestly. Because if Cole goes right back up, I mean, look at what I did with this 8 here. Horton. See why I said I'm glad that I went 8. I'm glad I did what I did. Like, honestly, I could see how this could come together, even though I really don't love it. But it could work. It could work. And then, Perdomo. Bobby Witt, Perdomo, Vinny P, William Contreras, Mikhail, and Tovar. Honestly, I think my infield's good, but Perdomo. Churio, Yelich, Buxton, Doyle, Frelick, Stanton. Honestly, I like my team. It's a stacked team whenever I said I wasn't going to stack, but it's pretty good. It's not great. It's got potential. I got the random Buxton unstacked play. Yeah, so Buxton and Perdomo are my only unstacked hitters. Otherwise, it's Milwaukee, Casey, and Colorado. So, yeah, overall, not too bad. Not too great, but not too bad. I don't hate it. Let me double check here and see if there's anyone else that said anything. Boom, boom, boom. Not seeing. Bjorn said a little bit of boom and only busting my hitters. Big boppers could have bigger, small weeks. Bobby Boucher, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Hey, thank you, guys. Not loving my pitching, but love a big Brave stack. Absolutely. Michael, thanks. Appreciate that, everyone. That was a panic pick. Yeah, it's gotcha. Hey, still not a bad panic pick, though. All right. So I think that's reviewed everyone. So we are going to call it for the night. We're 2 hours and 30 minutes in. It's 11:30 my time here in Southern Illinois, and I'm starting to wear down. But, guys, I will be back Thursday night. Anyone that wants to jump on, it'll be like a 4-hour-long stream. Oh, boy. Of Bubba and the Bloom auction Thursday night. And then we'll be back Friday or Saturday. I'll let you all know over on Twitter, and I'll post the video in the morning time, either Friday or Saturday, once I know for sure which night we'll be back here drafting some more dingers together. Well, this was my 93rd and 94th draft. So as of tomorrow, I will have 29 days to do 56 drafts. That is just at 2 a day. I should be rocking and rolling. And if this looks like it's going to fill before the season starts, then we rush it and do a few more in those last couple days. But for everyone who's hung on, thank you, guys. I appreciate all of y'all. If you like, hey, I never say this, but like and subscribe. I mean, hey, this is a YouTube thing. I am doing this on YouTube, so I know that helps. And the more people that, do that, then the more it gets out there and it's seen, and, algorithms and whatnot. At least this is what I hear. But until next time, everyone, have a great night. I enjoyed it. And remember, keep drafting. See you all next time.